Let me get the pre-show off. No, over the way. We're naked. Why is it not letting me?
No.
Now you've done it. See, this is the thing.
OBS might crash right now. There we go. Wow, that was a nice delay. That was embarrassing. I want to confirm. Everybody can hear all the audio okay and everything? It's not too loud, not too quiet. Look at that.
Oh my God.
There it is. It's up now. My audio is muted. Okay, let me read the doc real quick. Oh, yeah, let me get this up here. Okay. Am I forgetting anything? That's just way too smooth. That's the easiest setup we've ever had in 2 years.
I don't know. You kind of mucked it up there by making us all naked.
Well, or, spike in viewership. You never know. So, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Friendly Fire Podcast. This is episode 12. Puppy, what's that? That puts us on like an episode every solstice, something like that. It's been a long layoff. It's been 3 or 4 months, actually, which is crazy. I knew it had been a long time. I didn't realize it had been that long. Obviously, holidays and then Pup and I, what are we talking, every other day and DMs and stuff? Like, how are you for this day? How are you for this day?
Yeah.
We're like a married couple. It's like ships passing in the night. It's like, yeah, we're all go for Friday. Wednesday night comes around, Thursday morning. Dude, I don't know. I got a lot of stuff stacking up. I don't know if I can make it. No, me neither. All right, cool. We can't do it. And then like we both like don't feel so bad because both of us like, yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, both of us bowed out. Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to be back. I'm happy to do it. I just wanted to kind of my things are blinking at me. Hang out and talk some game, and I figured that with the new year, year review topic would be kind of appropriate. First, I want to do a little housekeeping like I did last time. I'm going to put a link in the chat while you guys are sitting here. If you wouldn't mind hitting that iTunes link and just putting a review, you don't have to write anything crazy. Reason Friendly Fire is kind of popular. It's hard to find, so just want to get some reviews on there for that. So with proper business out of the way, I will introduce you to my co-hosts tonight. I have 3 of them. This one is a backwards bastard, dirty bastard, and of course, an oatmeal stout. Now I'm talking about the beers. Very excited to be doing a show with these gentlemen tonight. I needed it, but I do have other guys here with me tonight as colorful cast as those guys are. Once again, with my buddy, Mr. the Puppy, who needs no introduction on this show. How you been, Puppy? Been a long time.
It's been a while, but I'm doing good. Things are going great.
Had a good holidays, I hope.
It's good. Yeah, holidays were great.
Kwanzaa and all that stuff.
The Saturnalia, that's what I celebrate. Hopefully.
Well, I think Darth, you do Festivus, right? Correct. You seem like a Festivus guy.
I think I celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah.
Just celebrate, right? It's just whatever comes your way. That's how I would be. So, how about you guys? Polly, you have a good holiday? You being good?
Yeah, I did.
Playing a lot of games from this document, I can see. That's for sure. I guess that's over the last year, though, so that's fair.
Yeah, not on the holiday so much because I was on road trips. So I didn't have much time to play anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like I don't know that I was sick and on holidays. I think it was like 3 weeks. I didn't play any games really at all. Maybe just logging on for A Squad once a week or something, but that was about it. So we'll start off, I guess. I don't think I forgot anything. We're just gonna go around the horn, talk about what we've been up to. Obviously, we just touched on it. What we've been playing lately, like the last week or two. Kind of give people an idea. I think it's a good way to start the flow. So Puppy, why don't we start with you? You're on my left. We're gonna probably keep doing that. What have you been up to offline? What have you been up to gaming? Just insight into the puppy life.
Man, I've been playing Destiny, a whole lot of Destiny.
Should I just copy the clip from episode 11? Just play it now. Splice it in. Minecraft, Destiny.
Minecraft. Actually, I haven't been playing too much Minecraft, but that's because actually for my birthday, a buddy of mine actually bought me the Elder Scrolls Anthology, which is every Elder Scrolls ever and all the DLCs for the PC. Now, I've played Skyrim on the Xbox 360, and the other ones Oblivion and Morrowind I had for the PC before, but I just kind of played them, beat them, and didn't really touch them after that. But this time around, I decided to hit up the modding community, and I just disappeared into a dark, deep black hole for a very long time. There's so many really cool mods out there for that game, even though it's so old. It was amazing. But besides Skyrim and that, I've been playing a lot of the newer heavy hitters too. Touching on them a little bit. I've been trying not to get too involved just because Destiny is my baby. I've been playing, well, a lot of the games we'll be talking about tonight. Thief, Far Cry 4, Assassin's Creed Unity, and also Minecraft for the Xbox One. But
You have a PC now. And I'm not hating on consoles, but I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. I've never played it on a console. Just tell me it's the people, right? If it's single player Minecraft on a console, I'm booting you off the Skype call right now.
It's actually to play with my children. So
That's fine. That's perfectly appropriate. I respect that.
All three of us will play split screen. It's a lot of fun because they're a blast playing with it. Their whole sole intent when they play that game is just to hit each other.
This is why I don't introduce it yet. I have not introduced it yet. That's the whole reason I want to build my second PC and finish that. Well, not build it, but repair it. I've never rage quit a game, especially a mobile game, an iOS game, whatever, except for Minecraft. I cannot. Have you ever tried that on an iPad or a phone? Have you ever tried that?
I've tried it on the phone.
Darth, have you, just from a design standpoint?
No, I haven't. I probably should, though. I do have,
I mean, my kids are like, castle. It's like, me, I'm like, I get stuck in a hole. I can't get out. And I have hundreds of hours in Minecraft on PC. On a platform, mobile platform. Oh my God. But kids obviously can do whatever, but I won't even do it. I won't even watch them play it. It's so bad. But I'll play on, eventually I want to do side by side with PC and stuff, but yeah. But I worry about the boys just basically setting traps and TNT for each other, and that's all they'll do. It'll be like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. It's just, this is what it's going to be. I'm totally dating myself right now.
That's totally what it is.
Yeah. That's all right once the little one's big enough and not to just punch his brother, but. So that's actually pretty good.
That's been me, man. Like I said, I've been busy. Of course, it's been 4 months, so.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. This is more like what we've been doing, say like after the holidays kind of thing. Or like you said, if you got any, we were talking in chat, if we got anything good gaming-wise for Christmas, that actually would have been a pretty good topic, except for my answer would be no. So,
jeez.
Polly, what about you, buddy?
I've been playing a few different things. Mostly it was the Steam holiday sale. Looking and seeing if there was anything I wanted, and most of the time it was not, or it was something I wanted and they discounted it like 20% or something. I was like, that's not good enough.
Well, that's how I got Mordor. Is like it was on sale to $30, and then my buddy at work, Diggs, he bought it because I was like, dude, you got to try this game. He loves Skyrim, and I was like, this is kind of Skyrim hack and slashy, that kind of, I hadn't played it, so he buys it, telling me about it, chirping in my ear at work all day. I go, all right, I'll get it. It's $40. So it's still on sale, but I'm like, no, I've known it's been $30. So I'm not buying it at $40. No way, not doing it. Then, of course, the last day they put it back down, and they know what they're doing. They know. And so here I am with Mordor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what else did you get? Pick anything else up good?
Let's see. What did I pick up? I picked up Thief. I picked up Metal Gear Rising. I picked up Fez.
I almost grabbed that.
I think that was it. I just spent about $20. I
was
like,
have you done
$20 on the sale?
Where you try to order a game on sale and it won't go through and you can't figure out why until you see you already own it from the last Steam sale and you haven't even installed it yet?
Yeah, you can't really do that as much anymore because they have all the stuff that shows up a lot more places
library.
For you own this, it's on your wish list, or it's in your library. They have the little overlays now.
Yeah, I usually do it a good once every sale. Oh, that's a really good deal. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's better than the deal I bought it for. But God, that's what I said. I'm such a cheap guy since I've come to PC. It's not even funny. But Darth, what about you?
It makes it too easy to be cheap.
Yeah. But it's like you're cheap over an individual title, but your budget is just the same. It's ridiculous. And you play the same number of games, you just happen to own more. What about you,
in the last week, I've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and before that, when I was on break from work, I was playing Stick of Truth. And pretty much the rest of the year, I was playing Battlefield 4 with no let up. But actually, out of the two RPGs I played in the last week, I think I like Stick of Truth more, to be honest with you.
Really? Over Dark Age?
Yeah.
Or,
You're not into Dragon Age yet at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I played 10 hours into it, and I'm like, holy God, this feels like Guild Wars 2 by myself.
Yeah, well, that's what Polly said. It has the co-op, but it's really a single player game, so it's kind of.
Yeah, well, like co-op's a completely different mode. It's not even the same thing.
All right, well, we'll talk about that one in a minute. But yeah, Stick of Truth over Dragon Age. That's interesting. All right, cool. Because I wouldn't go for Stick of Truth at all. That wouldn't be my thing. But it's interesting.
If you like dick and fart humor.
Yeah, honestly, knowing you as I know you now after these last couple, I'm not surprised by that at all. I've seen you on.
Oh, now he
your-
thinks I'm unsophisticated.
No, I've
Let me
seen
go
you on a
get-
Jose Tequila binge. I've seen into your soul. I know what makes you laugh now, and it usually involves pretty silly stuff on the battlefield. Some hijinks with a what is it? What's your choice? With the shotgun? I can't think of what it's called now.
DBV or
DBV. I was gonna say DBW. I knew that wasn't right though. But as for me, what have I been playing? Darth, are you done?
Yeah.
Just Stick of Truth, Dragon Age. For me, I'm trying to think Battlefield, just almost out of obligation at this point. I get really frustrated in my frame. It's more technical things. I enjoy the game, but it's just, we've done that ad nauseum. But RimWorld, like crazy, SCDT's in the chat. We've been going back and forth. I'm obsessed with this game. I was telling you guys before the chat's like, I'm back to when I was a kid, or not even a kid, just a couple years ago when I could do this stuff. It was like, I'm just going to play for like an hour, wait for the kids to go to bed, no audio, nothing, like, just chill out, maybe have a beer. Oh, wow, the sun's up. It's like, holy shit. Oh, man, I can't do that anymore. And like you said, you like get pumped up when that happens because you're like, that's a good game. That's awesome. That's a cool, that's gaming, right? But you're just like, oh, this is going to hurt. Somewhere. It might not be tomorrow. I can tough it through or somewhere, but I'm just like, yeah, no good. No bueno. But, yeah, so between that and then I've been playing Shadows of Mordor. I'm not very far in that one at all. Probably like 10 hours maybe. So just scratch the surface. I've been just doing all the tutorial stuff mostly, like we were talking about on Twitter, but enjoying that one actually. It's not a me game. It's kind of me branching out a little bit. But I figure there's no real big titles this fall that like I'm like dialed in on. So now I want to kind of sprinkle myself around and try some different things, i.e. Dragon Age and something else maybe we talk about tonight. But I think those have been my big ones. I'm about Lego Star Wars from Christmas with my boys. Disney Infinity. Oh God, split screen on those make me so nauseous. It's ridiculous. Have you guys played those at all? I mean, you guys don't have kids. But Puppy, you missed the Infinity thing?
I managed to get lucky enough to skip that one.
They're not bad games actually. They just got the new one, of course, and I got to buy all the new figures and everything. But it's got to be the same as Minecraft. It's a split screen. It's like once I split screen something, kills me. I don't know what's going on, but getting old, I guess.
Just need a bigger TV.
It's not. Yeah, I guess maybe that would help, but it's these games you spinning around so much. I don't know. Whatever.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to help you out, dude. Just talk to the wife. Be like, look, I want to play with my kids. I want to spend time with my kids. I need a bigger TV.
Dude, she was actually well. I mean, yes. I mean, Christmas we were going in. We did like the Black Friday stuff. We got my boys 2 iPads for Christmas. So nice. We were all about the Black Friday sales, which we've never really done before. We've always like looked down our nose at those people. So we're like, you know what, we can save some serious money because like Target was giving out gift cards, and my wife, Target gift cards are better than cash for her, guilt-free spending, right? So she's in there doing it, and I'm looking at the TVs. I'm like, this is insane. Some of these prices are just. I was like, because I'm thinking about getting a nice TV to like mount here because I can't watch my TV while I'm there, and I don't know. But yeah,
have you thought about a mirror?
Yeah, I guess that could work. Be a little confusing with like football and stuff though. Like, whoa, which way are they going? But yeah, but there's no fun in buying a mirror. There's not enough ADPs. we need some help. Gaming mittens, DT. Yes, my boy, my youngest is he's talking about my Twitter today. He's out shoveling the driveway, doesn't want gloves. We come inside, his hands are cold. He wants to play video games, so he has to wear mittens. And I tweeted a picture of him. He's a character, that one. Gonna have my hands full with that one. But yeah, I think that's about it for me. That's actually quite a bit of variety for me. Usually it's like one game and that's it. So let's just dive in then. What I'm gonna do is we have a list here of all week we've kind of been filling this out. I'm sure we've missed some. We've certainly missed games. These are just kind of the bigger ones that figured were topics. But Chad, if you have some games you want us to talk about, obviously just mention it in chat. Puppy, if you can try to keep an eye on that if you can.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be able to, all you guys obviously, but if there's a particular game, I'm really opening us up for some really crazy chat stuff right now because I'm sure there's going to be like Leisure Suit Larry and whatever. But do that in the chat. We'll talk about those at the end. We've got about 10 games here, but I don't think we've all played all of them, so that's why I think some of them will be quick. But let's lead off. I don't know why I just asked you to watch chat, Puppy, because you're about to get on your soapbox. And the rest of us are going to go to sleep.
Let's do it.
The game that needs no introduction for Puppy. But let's talk about Destiny here. I think you were the only one that has played it on the cast, right? Power, did you? I don't know if you're still doing console at all.
I've heard plenty about it, but I've not played
yes,
it.
we've all heard plenty about it.
All right, I will do my best.
Let's just keep it truncated to about 2 minutes or so.
I'm gonna do my best to keep it short and also reiterate. Well, not reiterate.
I'm gonna ask you what your favorite game of the year was, so you'll have more time to talk about it later. Okay.
Well, I'll just say that since the last podcast, actually, some of my initial impressions on it, I guess, as the honeymoon phase has kind of ended a little bit. It lasted a little longer for me than I think it did for most everyone else. But now that it's kind of come up to a hold, you kind of start noticing issues with the game. And while I still very much enjoy Destiny, I can't help but get a little frustrated with what is now becoming a ever-present lack of actual content. Who was it I was talking to? There was somebody I was talking to on Twitter. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, I can't recall. It was I Eat Rocks. I was talking to I Eat Rocks on Twitter.
How do you forget that name?
Yeah, I know, right? He was asking me if he should get the DLC for Destiny because it had just dropped, and all I could say was no. I've done the whole "is it worth it" reviews over games and stuff, and this particular DLC is probably the most overcharged piece of additional content I have.
What is it? I'm not up
seen.
on it. I don't know if you guys know, but what is the DLC? Is it like missions or like quests? Basically, or is it a dungeon?
It is some extra missions. It is an extra what
For
they call
gear,
a strike.
Obviously.
Yeah, they have quite a bit of new gear. They have you can get 2 extra levels now as opposed to 30. You can get to 32 now. Woo! They gave you 3. A whopping.
Did you just say my kid was wearing fapping mittens? By the way, I'm just catching him on chat. I mean, really, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that warrants it, frankly.
Look,
you're in the dog. Go in the cage behind you and just think about what you've done.
I said fapping mittens, and then you said your kid, and I was like, oh no,
it's literally at the top of my chat, and I just caught it. So.
I'm sorry, dude. That's
You almost got away with it.
Not appropriate at all, and I'm sorry.
The chat let you down. They didn't scroll fast enough.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. Continue.
But basically, now that I'm all red-faced and stuff, they give you 3 new missions, and each mission probably takes about 10 minutes to beat, and then they gave you a new strike, which is basically like a harder mission. Which takes all of 20 minutes to beat, and then they gave you a new raid, which is supposed to be like the hardest in-game content, which on average, once everyone figured out how to do it, it takes probably about 30 to 40 minutes to beat. So ultimately, we're talking $20 is what they're charging for this shit, and it's for an hour.
It's the hardest quest, or what is it? Whatever raid or whatever it's called is an hour. That's not that. I mean, I'm not much for these games, but that's not that much, is it?
I'm talking like an hour total of new content. Like aside from the only other thing you have to do outside of this hour of new content is try to get the new gear. I mean, that's the way the game's always.
Now, has there been any of this? Obviously when it was coming out, and I haven't paid attention to the nuts and bolts. This like I don't know what it's called, like global events where they're like, this spaceship is crashing down, everybody converge here and fight off this, the trailer stuff that they did. That was obviously
they have some of that, but those are really not as big as the trailers made them out to be. At most, you might have 3 or 4 people participating in one of those. I don't know if you guys ever saw my Defiance videos from ages back, but like in Defiance, it had something similar where there was like big public events, but literally in those events, you'd have like 30, 40, 50 people showing up for these things. And in the Destiny events, like that's most I've ever seen has been 5. It's just.
Why do you think it is? The loot's not good enough?
No, it's because the way that they configure their servers,
that's unfortunate, because
the servers are much, much smaller. To where there's only ever 16, it caps out at 16 people per server, really. So, you'll have those people that want to do it, and then the other people are off doing something else somewhere else in the map.
Because it's all basically instance-based? Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, so they
spread the load, obviously, which makes sense from a hardware and engineering standpoint, but yeah, I mean...
I feel like they kind of took a misstep there. But like I said,
Yeah, I think that's a big letdown. I thought the whole global events and the storyline, and I thought it was going to be this, like, book with chapters and you know the story. You know that's how I haven't paid super close attention because it wasn't available to me, obviously. But
we'll see if they ever throw any more story out there. That's a whole nother can of worms that I'm not gonna get into too much. I'll just say there's not much of one. But like I said, basically my thoughts on Destiny right now is I think Bungie took a huge misstep, and I mean this is the final statement on Destiny for now. Is just they took a huge misstep on charging that much money for such a little amount of content. I mean, that is completely uncalled for.
Yeah, I mean they've got the numbers, so they'll see. You know, if they misstep that badly, it'll be pretty easy to tell. You know, but
yeah,
that's too bad because I mean I you know when it came out I was hoping it would port over and you know or maybe I've been hovering to buy something, you know, a console and monitoring. But
have they hinted at anything new coming down the pipe in the next month or so? Or
I'm sure they've hinted at a lot.
Radio silence so far.
They're dropping new things here and there, and they have certain events that
things, don't they?
They have events that drop monthly or bi-weekly and stuff like that, where they kind of do little events here and there. So where there's always kind of something new, but even those kind of new things are really just a different version of what you can already do. Which kind of makes it less fun. You know, like you'd expect maybe an event to give you something truly new, whereas these events
guest on the cast
are really just a twist on it.
Your dog's behind you.
Oh. All right.
I think we've had the whole family on at this point. So, yeah, for me, it's like the PvP doesn't look that engaging to me. I mean, it just. I don't know. It looks like crazy. I don't know. Just doesn't look. So I mean, I'm let down just as a spectator, and that's unfortunate because I thought it would be a good content game. You know, like a streaming game and all that. And it doesn't. It's kind of like another game we talked about was like Titanfall. It just hit and disappeared at like a month later. But
I'm not.
I still want to check it out. I still want to play it. But
I'm not going to say it's disappeared entirely, and I think it will stick around at least for another year or two while they're releasing content. But it's going to
how much they support.
To me, it's going to stick around in the same kind of way that like maybe Borderlands sticks around.
Now, you know,
you'll see some of the more niche YouTubers and people that have like a kind of certain thing that they go after. Like they'll keep playing it, but
and they'll invent ways to engage viewers. They'll come up with their own challenges and things like that. Now, do you think it's better off or worse off for the exclusivity? Because I mean, I think it might be better off right now. Like I don't know, in a weird way. I don't know.
Are you talking about being console exclusive, or are you talking about PS4 versus Xbox?
Yeah, like a little. I guess either way.
Because PS4 gets more crap than Xbox does. Crud stuff, whatever. They get more content, which I think is stupid. Because it'd be one thing if it was like with Battlefield or with Call of Duty, where they make you wait like maybe a month.
You wait,
for the
but you still get it, right?
Yeah, but we're still going to get it, but it's not a month we're waiting, or even
the whole thing is stupid. Like, the whole exclusivity thing is stupid to me. In any game. Is it really?
The most extreme case was, Battlefield 4, where you guys on PC had to wait, like 4 or 5 months for Metro and all that. Yeah. We have to wait a solid year, for the crap that's
presumptuous to think you're still going to be around. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean... Let's be honest here. I mean, even a great game, people aren't around that long. So
that sounds like a contract they signed and couldn't get out of.
Yeah, it sounds. Yeah, they were. I don't know. That sounds like the managers are running the development more than the developers are running it. But which I guess is just a way of life at this point. So probably in a nutshell, and I don't know if the other guys have any say. It's easily your most played game of the year, I would think. Maybe Minecraft, maybe. But
It's still my most.
I'm looking at the number right here in the doc, and if you've got another game, let's hear about it.
It's my most played game this year, but that's just because I enjoy games of that nature. Yeah. And I personally am able to take the good with the bad. And when I bought the game, I bought like all the DLCs already with it. So even though I feel ripped off, I've already paid for it.
Now, you played the majority of your time with other people, or would you say you've been grinding kind of solo, that kind of thing?
Oh, I totally pay most of the time with other people. In fact, if there's not other people on to play with, generally speaking, I'll go play a different game. I won't even play it.
Then I say, I mean, I'm still intrigued by it. Like if let's say tomorrow I went and picked up a PS4 or whatever, it would probably be one of the games I pick up. But the problem is there's like only like 2 games I would definitely pick up, and that's why I can't pull the trigger yet. But Do you guys have? I mean, I have no experience with other than what basically puppies told me. So I don't know if you guys have anything to add to Destiny. But Chad, I don't know if you guys wanted to chime in on Destiny at all. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next one. We've got other games to talk about. No experience. All right, so we'll go on now. You know, let's skip one. Remind me to come back to Mordor. We'll go into Dragon Age because I know that you two guys have played that. I have not. I'm very like. Here's no pressure, but I'm like tonight right here. I'm either gonna get off this podcast and pass out, or or I'm going to buy Dragon Age right here and now. So sell me on it, or don't. It's up to you guys, I guess, is what it is. So I'm the guy that is intrigued. And it's not a me game. Probably we've talked about this, but I'm looking for just like I told you on Twitter. Like I wish Skyrim had a co-op mode. That's like I love Skyrim. I played it, but you can only Fus Rodah so many things so many times, and you're just like I want to Fus Rodah my friends. You know, like so. Like, is this that? Is this what I'm looking for here? Dragon Age Inquisition. That is. I don't know if I said that clearly enough, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure because I haven't done the co-op mode, so I can't say anything about that.
And I'm assuming Darth hasn't either.
Yeah, it's primarily a heavy hardcore RPG single player game like most BioWare titles. I've heard that the co-op mode is kind of like Mass Effect 3's, except instead of defending waves, you're actually like going in. It's kind of like flipped around, so you're going into caves. I think I don't know exactly. I haven't actually played it, so I can't tell you, but. I've heard that it's good. I just haven't had anyone to play it with, so
yeah, it's all kind of like makes it hard at this point. Cause
MB3 was more like a cooperative arena where you just would fight waves or do a single objective or something like that. I haven't done the cooperative in Dragon Age either.
The Mass Effect 3 was fun, so I've heard from some people that this is fun too. I just haven't had a chance to play it myself because nobody I know has it, so I can't play it with anybody.
No, well, I mean, I'm definitely teetering. My buddy Diggs, who's on a Mordor kick right now with me, I could talk him into getting it. So we could get a little. I think it's 4-man. We could do that. And Darth, I just only found out this week you have it because you're like, we're gonna do a year in review. I need a second game I've played. So,
I think
the first time
that gave me an excuse to actually play it.
Right. I talked to you. I think I talked to you probably too a month ago, saying, guys, let's do a year in review. Probably we talked about this a bunch, and Darth, you interested? I'd be a really bad candidate because I think I've played like one game this year, which is totally how I am too. So I understood that, but it's all right.
Yeah, so I've played 90 hours of it.
That's a good
little
number.
Bit more than that, and that's how long it took me. Yeah, that's how long it took me to go through and do
that's single player
most of the side quests.
That's like double hours.
Yeah, that's most of the side quests, all the campaign thing, all the different all your companions in your party all have specific quest lines that you can go down. And I did. I know I didn't do everything in the game, but I did a lot. And then,
are you done with it?
Still got a few dragons to go kill that I know where they are. They were just like too powerful for me when I encountered them. So I was like, I'll come back later.
I don't want to deal with the stress right now. I just want to maul things.
Yeah, they're easily the toughest fights in the game.
Yeah.
Except for maybe a couple of the boss fights. There's some of the story missions, but the dragons are pretty tough.
So that's, I guess Dragon Age Inquisition. Like, I don't even know. Like, I watched a little streams or something at some point, but I haven't. I try not to watch those games.
Yeah, it is a gorgeous looking game.
Definitely.
The other two Dragon Ages, they're not that impressive. Even when they came out, they're okay. They weren't terrible.
Yeah, what is this whole thing about I need save files or something? If I didn't play the other games?
They just because it's on like new platforms and stuff, and they not doing carryover for saves to actually import them from the old games, but they have a like web app basically where you can go and make all the major choices from the previous two Dragon Age
games. It's like a choose your own adventure.
Sort of.
That's cool.
It's kind of like laid out by like this tapestry thing with a bunch of different panels for different choices, and you can click on it and then go and then like,
and it shapes your next story.
Did this person live? Okay. That kind of stuff. If you didn't play the previous two games, didn't play those, then going into that would just confuse you because you wouldn't know who any of these people are. It's not really that great for backstory or anything. There's a couple of like articles online that I would point people to if they wanted to know type things. But if you have played them and you want to kind of set up the world how you had it from before, you can do that.
Yeah.
But if you've not played them, you could start with this game and not do that at all. That's not really a requirement. I'm not sure what their default world state is though.
Well, I'm finding out as I go.
Yeah.
I probably couldn't tell you what the difference is between anything realistically, because my Dragon Age experience was I played Origins for about 50 hours, got to the Mage Tower, and then didn't come back to it after that for whatever reason. I played the demo for 2, and I was like, well, this is an entirely separate game, kind of, with the way they're doing combat, and I wasn't really sold on it. And then I heard all the sort of mediocre reviews for it, and I said, well, I'll pass on that one. So here I am at 3, just sort of jumping into it dry and being like, okay, I kind of remember some of the stuff from the first Dragon Age, and then the second one I have pretty much nothing other than, oh, hey, it's that dwarf guy.
Yeah, like
Which is about the only thing they needed to bring from 2. Like, I enjoyed it to a point, but yeah, like, the dwarf is the only thing they needed to bring in, because he's a great character. It's kind of fun. But yeah, the rest of Dragon Age 2, I think having played Inquisition, they did a really good job of telling you anything you needed to know within the game.
Don't make me regret that, puppy.
Yeah, so far, I haven't felt lost. I just haven't felt like super engaged by the story yet.
How
maybe
far
that's just
did you get to the
about
first
10 hours
sort of
in.
big open area yet?
I've been tooling around in the hinterlands for far too long.
You guys aren't selling me on
I
this
stayed
yet.
in there till about 20-something hours before I moved on, and then I was like, oh, I should have done this earlier, because there's so many different environments in the game.
That's what I feel like, yeah.
Using Frostbite 3 now gives them the opportunity to do a sense of scale that they weren't able to do on the previous 2 games. Like, all the environments are very, like, epic, big feeling. Like, some of the, like, mountains you're going through, or forests, swamps, deserts.
It definitely feels a lot freer than the games, or Origins at least, and it's definitely a lot larger in scale. Though for Kulprit, if you're coming from Skyrim, I think you might be a little bit disappointed in the open worldiness of it, because it's open world-ish. Like, there's stuff that you can't get to, obviously, whereas in Skyrim, it's like, hey, I see a point, I want to walk there, I can do that.
Right.
Yeah, but I kind of got bored with Skyrim after time, too. That's, I think, they did a good balance of it's sort of open world, but not so open that you can just do anything.
Yeah,
you kind of get into an area,
making sacrifices for either way. Yeah, I mean,
you have like different areas you unlock, and they're each fairly big, and you wander around in this area, finding all your missions, complete some stuff, and then go back to your base and go somewhere else and do something different.
Yeah, if you want content, you'll definitely not be starved for that. They're probably way more than is necessary.
Yeah, it is super packed. Even if you skip all the, hey, go kill 5 of these things quests, which there really aren't that many of those.
I have
Even if you skip all those, there's tons of content. So it is a big, big game for sure. This is what happens when you let developers take time to make it, which was the problem with the Dragon Age 2, is they rushed it out the door like a year after the first one, something like that, really quick, and showed.
I have no notion of finishing these games. Like, I don't enter them with any idea. I'm loosely interested in the stories. Like, to me, it's just hanging out with friends and playing a game. When we're talking about Dragon Age, we're gonna get into Mordor a little bit, but. So I don't like, I know when I log in and I start playing, there's a timer running where my brain is eventually just go, I'm good. I've had my fill. Like, it's rare that it's a game that really engages me and grabs me and pulls me through. Like, even then I'm like, I don't know. But I'm so invested I want to see the end now. Like, that's a good game. And I'm trying to think of the last game that did that, and I really can't think of it. Wasn't even Skyrim. Wasn't even, like, I don't know. It probably hasn't happened since I was way younger, So, like, I love all the options, but I'm like, I don't know if I need all that. But to me, it's more about, like, gameplay, accessibility, that kind of stuff. And, I guess graphics matter somewhat, but, I'm kind of a casual in that respect, I guess. But I mean, like I said, you had Mordor and you had Dragon Age. They both kind of came out at the same time. They're loosely the same genre of gaming, I guess. To me, it was like one had co-op, one was single player. It was really it. Hack and slay. I know you're saying now it's more of a hardcore RPG, which I didn't realize it was kind of hardcore.
One's an RPG, one's more just like an action open world game.
They're the Matrix, basically.
Very different.
Yeah. So.
I think I need to go play Mordor now.
Yeah. Right. It's like, do you like Michael Bay or do you like, a documentary kind of thing? But I mean, I think I'm definitely going to pick it up at some point. It's a question of whether, like, do I wait it out and grab it on sale at some point? Maybe the next Steam sale. We have these totems.
As far as Dragon Age goes and how some of the stuff I know you like to play, you might enjoy the combat. just because it's halfway between tactical and just run and gun. So everybody can find a different sort of rhythm for it, because you can bounce into tactical camera anytime you want, or you can ignore it. So I think they did a pretty good job.
That feels so weird to me as a game. Like that was one of the things about Dragon Age Origins. I was like, I wish they would just go with one or the other, because I feel like they're both being held back because they're making a compromise.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they did a good job with it. I always enjoyed the combat all through the 90 hours. Even if it was just going through some area I'd already been, find some stupid enemy that was there that I'm way over leveled for. It was still fun to kill him.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it was on Frostbite, so that to me is a selling point. Like, say what you will about Battlefield and stuff, it's always looked beautiful, and the engines, obviously, it might have its technical limits on like really quick reaction games, net code and things, but as far as environment and things, I don't think it's rivaled right now. Maybe like a Crysis, Crytek engine or something like that, but I don't know. I'll probably have to watch some videos maybe and just kind of see. But I mean, knowing you play it and Darth, I mean, I think we could have some fun. So we'll see.
Maybe I'll have time to do some videos.
It's kind of slow start. I think that's a problem for the game, for people wanting to get into it, is the fact that I see a lot of messages on Reddit and places like that are like, oh, the Hinterlands is kind of boring. I'm like, well, why did you make that your first place you could take people?
And I don't even agree with that. I think the Hinterlands is actually a lot of fun. It's just that it is so super packed with quests. You can stay in there forever and not move on, and that you just kind of get bogged down in it.
You're paralyzed, right? Yeah.
If you go into it now having people commented on it and going to it like, okay, I'm just going to do mostly just the story missions and then move on, then it wouldn't take that long. You wouldn't be in there. You could go through pretty quickly.
I think it might also be that I played Warcraft for far too long, and objective-based RPG gameplay is sort of getting old on me now.
Puppy, I hope you're paying attention.
Yeah, this is a game I've been waiting all year for, so that's why I definitely put tons of time into it. I'm wanting to play through it all again on the hard difficulty. Maybe I'll record it and everybody can see my pain.
Well, it's kind of like a Dark Souls thing.
No. Yeah, one more thing. I did have like extreme difficulty trying to make a character that wasn't incredibly ugly in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's easy. You just gotta take the time because they have so many different sliders. If you really
they have
want
so
to.
many options. It's like I did my usual RPG thing of like, is that prettier or is that ugly? Okay, that's prettier. That's prettier. That's prettier.
Ugly all the way.
Let's step back and look at the whole thing, and it'd be like, oh god, I've made a monster.
That's why you just move all the sliders randomly to one extreme or the other and see what you get.
No, I always end up like a Mad Max Road Warrior, like as ugly as possible. Like, why not? Like, you want to be intimidating. You want to be badass. That's
make an ugly character in that game really easy.
Oh man, I'm hooked then. So,
hey, you can even adjust your eyelashes in their character creator. It's nuts.
So let's move on to its competitor then, because Puppy's awfully quiet. Actually, I don't even know. Can you talk about this, Puppy? I don't know. I think
which one
you can. Mr. Mordor.
Mordor. Yes, I played Mordor.
All right, so we'll get you to chime in. I've been playing this one recently. My buddy Diggs, obviously. Like I said, I told him he's a Skyrim nut. He's got like 300 something hours. He mods the hell out of Skyrim and all that. So I was like, listen, Mordor seems like you. Go play. He's like me. He's got kids. He's got the whole thing going on. So he doesn't get much time to game. He just likes to kind of mindlessly kill things, and he likes to do the builds and all that stuff. Like, check this game out. I hadn't played it. I was just telling him. So then, of course, he's chirping at me, telling me. I'm like, I told you the whole story about the sale. I'm like, all right, finally got it. And it's fun. Like, it's a really fun. Like I said, actually, it's a Michael Bay video game. It's kind of hack and slash, and it's rhythmic. It's not really strategy. I guess I'm very early in, so I hope I'm wrong, frankly. But I enjoy the combat. I'm getting into the technical and the mechanics of it. I do worry, and I think probably we were talking about this on Twitter, that it's gonna get boring. But you guys tell me, and he tells me the same thing. It gets better as you get more abilities, so that's cool. I hate the starting area. We were talking about Hinterlands. It's just doom. It's Mordor. It's like it's Lord of the Rings. It's doom and gloom and dark, and I don't like that crap. Like, give me some flowers. Give me some happiness.
Yeah, the second map you unlock has green grass and stuff. It's crazy.
Right, just give me some colors. Remember Battlefield 4. It's like blue everywhere. Give me
if you just
something.
Jumped into that area straight, you wouldn't think that there was like that much greenery around. But after going through the first map for however many hours, and you get there, you're like, this is paradise.
Yeah, it's like a mirage.
It's not brown everywhere.
That's what I mean. It's like, oh, it's dark brown. I'm jumping into lighter brown. It's like, it's not a big deal. But after you're in there for so long, you're like, can I just get a little color? Like, you're so excited to see an orc captain because he's orange. You're like, yes. But even orange is kind of brown, so you're just kind of like whatever. But I'm enjoying it.
What systems were you guys playing playing it on? Because I know Nemesis is not on the older consoles.
Oh, really?
I
didn't know
PC.
that.
I'm on
Yeah, I'm
Xbox
on PC.
One.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, no, and that's you bring it up. Nemesis, I think, is one of the coolest things I've done.
That is the coolest thing.
I think.
Yeah.
Like for an otherwise
that
mindless slashing game, I mean that's kind of what it is. You're in there. You're like I said, it makes me feel like Neo from the Matrix, where you're just like, oh, 30 enemies, don't care. Like even if I die, I'm gonna die to the last guy, But like the whole idea that like then like this, because I've died to random orcs, like because I'm an idiot, and then like I've died to one random orc like 2 or 3 times. So now he's like the warlord of everything. I think he's like rivaling Sauron. So I'm like, I'm coming for you. I don't care if I die. I'm going to come at you through your army. I'm taking you out. Like I have that connection and I have that engagement and that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't
It's a
even
neat little trick.
I haven't even gotten to like I think the vendetta kills were like, I'll see like, oh, Polygon was vanquished and you've, revenge killed. I haven't even gotten that yet. Like wait till I get my buddy Diggs and I kill somebody he died to. Oh my God, it's going to be all over the place. But that's really cool. I think that's a good job by them. It's like again, I could see myself texting one of you guys like, yeah, I just killed that guy for you. That's cool, and it definitely pulls me into an otherwise kind of mindless slashing, kind of like a Torchlight or a Diablo, where you're just kind of slashing, killing the things. There's a little more depth there for me, so I'm enjoying that part. But what do you guys think? Go ahead, Pup.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I think as far as the actual gameplay goes, personally, I feel like it's kind of stale. Like as far as like your actual action, button mashing, swing to chop off their heads and whatnot. Like to me, that's all kind of been there, done that in every other game. Now we just got this lovely, colorful new setting to do it in. But the Nemesis system, like you mentioned, like to me that really makes the game because like there's a plot. What? No, I don't care. I just what's going on, who are these big bad guys and who killed me last and what can I go after? Like the way that system works is amazing to me and it's very intriguing and I love it. It's something new. And another really good high point that I like about the game is it's, to me anyway, it seems to be a little bit less forgiving. I'm kind of getting over all these games that have either like Assassin's Creed where you just can't fail, Assassin's Creed Unity, like there's numerous things that you just can't do it wrong. The game will just keep going and let you win basically. You just keep right on going until you accomplish your task. It doesn't matter if you're supposed to assassinate this person and they know you're coming and they see you, and you're supposed to do it stealthy. They see you, you just go run away and hide and come back. No, it's not like that. If you die, then, well, that was you dead. So time to go do something else. And, I think that's, to me, it's a little bit, I like that approach better. I like being able to fail because I think if you can fail, then that adds stakes to the game.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
And there's repercussions for failing. Like obviously, you're like, all right, that guy's gonna be a pain in the ass later.
Yeah.
Well, it's like they make failing fun because as soon as you die, even if it's a random no-name orc, they get a name and they mock you, and then if you encounter them later, they will remind you of it. And it's just this cool thing where it's like most of the time in a game you don't want to die. But this time it's almost like I want to die just to see what's going to happen.
You didn't care about the setbacks.
Mix it up.
Like I had this experience. Like I was running around and like the whole tower. Puppy, I think we were talking. The tower thing is dumb. Like can we get over the tower thing?
I am over it.
It wasn't that good of a mechanic to begin with. Why is everybody copying it? First of all. So anyway, I had to get a tower in this one little area. So I just literally ran in. I was like, I'm going to get the tower because you can climb up and then it like resets everything. So I knew the mechanic. I'm exploiting that. I get the tower. Boom. But then random events just bring these patrols in. I've got like 40 orcs below me. I'm like, whatever, YOLO. I jump off the tower and I'm like, I'm going to run out again. I don't know. He does some like shoulder roll into a bush and he's like, incapacitated for a second. I start getting beat on. And you get that whole like where it cuts to the cinematic of the orange captain guy and he's like talking trash to you. I'm like, oh, it's on now. Like I can't back down from this, right? But I do, because I look at his buddies and there's like 50 orcs around me. I'm like, all right, I'm out. So I run through a canyon. I jump down into it, a brown canyon on a brown canyon, and I run down. And I like jump up another one. I'm like looking for like the old coins that you can buy stuff. I'm like just minding my own business in Orkland, and all of a sudden like I go to jump down again into this canyon, and this thing like the same orange guy, and I had run so far away from him, jumps out and starts attacking me. Like he had tracked me like for a long time, like way longer than a game mechanic should. And I'm sitting there like so befuddled as I'm fighting this guy. I'm like, what the hell just happened here? Like, and I'm like, this is so awesome, or this is really fucking annoying. Like, I don't know yet. Like, I can't comprehend this. And we got into this whole fight, and like, I had him low, and I tried to steal his brains. You know, like you do the whole thing with your hand and stuff. Right. I tried to, do the final kill showboat thing, and I messed it up somehow. And he blew the horn, called his friends, and I died. So I was so pissed. Like, I was, like, really pissed. I was like, oh, it's so... And this is the guy that I've now died to twice, because rage mode, I came back and tried to get him, like, another time. But that's, like, awesome to me. Like, that makes me want to turn the game on. Like, now I'm like I know that guy's name. Offline, out of game, I'm like, I'm going to get that son of a bitch. But, I mean, of course he moves, because, like, as he gets promoted, they move him to, a more higher-up area, because he would just destroy you in the newbie land. But... I'm just like, I'm going to get that guy. And that might be when I'm done with the game. I mean, he might be my Sauron now. Like, that's it. Like, that'll be the end of the game for Kulprit. But that's where I'm going. But, like, when he tracked... Because then, of course, I got the intel later on him. And it was like, yeah, he will track you. He'll follow your scent or something. I was like, that's incredible. That's awesome. Like, he followed me a long way. And everything else, like, lost aggro and went back to their thing. And this guy must have followed me and hid in the bush. I'm like... That's the coolest mechanic or the stupidest mechanic I've ever seen in my life.
When you turn off the game and you go out to the real world, he's sitting there thinking, I'm going to get that Culprit guy that whole time.
He's doing his Orc buddies on his Orc podcast right now.
Just waiting on you.
This guy, he's going to come back. I know it. I've gotten him I'm 3-0. I teabagged him. He's coming back. I know it. But like that to me, like that's really like it's such like it's like there's nothing new in the game, but the way they fold it all together is new. Like, and I appreciate that because this is a game that normally wouldn't hold my attention. I'm trying to like a Skyrim or something like that where it just gets stale. Like whether this one does or not, and a lot of you guys are telling me it's not gonna. But I like that vendetta or that nemesis system is gonna keep me engaged a lot longer than otherwise.
Oh yeah.
So is that wrap it up from Mordor?
I got nothing else.
Trying to catch up on chat because we had some craziness going on there.
Mordor.
Then let's
Wouldn't
talk
be chat
about.
if it wasn't crazy.
Yeah, it was a little outside crazy, which is a little annoying.
True.
But, it is what it is. We got Far Cry 4. Now this, I got negative things to say about this. And I haven't even played it, but anybody played it here? Puppy, I think you did.
Dang,
right?
yeah. I like I said in the
Far
pre-show.
Cry 3.5 is it?
I played it for all of. I set myself a timer. I have to do that with these kind of game with any kind of Far Cry game. I set myself a timer because I knew if I didn't, I would never stop playing, and I wouldn't be here. I'd be coming up with an excuse like, "Kulprit, my cat died. I can't do the podcast, bro." Just playing Far Cry. But I played it for 30 minutes, and it does feel a lot like Far Cry 3. In the bits that I did get, some of the stuff that's still in it. Like the stuff that they kept is super annoying.
Towers.
I can't stand towers. I don't know what Ubisoft's obsession with towers is. It's in every freaking Ubisoft game. I mean, I don't have it, but one of my buddies, Bumbles, was telling me that there's towers in The Crew, which is a racing game. What?
It's a parking garage.
Maybe I'm missing. Can you describe this tower concept to me? Because apparently I haven't seen it
basically
yet.
What it is like when you start
really?
the game, your map is just completely grayed out. You can bring up the world map.
You can run in these areas and adventure in them, but you won't unlock them.
Right. Like you can keep wandering around, and you might see icons, but it's icons around a big blurry screen. And then what you have to do is there's specific towers that you have to go to, and you basically go up to the top of these towers, and it's kind of like a mini platform.
Like a radar tower, yeah.
type
oh
thing.
no, it's so.
In Far Cry 4,
Is it better in Far Cry 4? Because Far Cry 3 was dumb. It was the same thing every time. It was
Far Cry
annoying.
4, it's a little better. They changed the towers a little bit, but it's still, you climb up to the top of the tower and then you hold X to pay respects. I mean, to
Okay, so it's
unlock the tower.
hey, look, we made a world. Now you must stare at it.
It lifts the shroud. Oh yeah, you got zip lines. Don't forget the zip lines.
Yeah, and you get a little zip line down, and and it does the 360 spin to let you see the world.
It's a way for them to show you, feature points and things. But it's just,
to me,
I want to see the Ubisoft memo about towers in their games, because there has to be one.
You know what?
There's probably some analytical data that says, all right, games that have towers do 25% better on the third day than games that don't. So clearly, towers are a feature we need to have in every game.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think Ubisoft might be onto something, and I've yet to test this theory out. But if you guys can help me convince my wife, I think what it is like, like you climb up the tower to get a better idea and a better grip on the map and your surroundings, right? So I'm thinking my wife, who's kind of bad at directions, if I can get her to climb up a lamppost or a telephone pole and stand on top of it for a little while, maybe she'll be a little bit better.
Climb a cookbook.
Honey, pull over and get directions. Climb that telephone pole.
Yeah. My big beef with Far Cry, I haven't played it at all, so correct me if I'm wrong. The whole notion, and this I got from those pre-alpha streams and videos, whatever, or pre-release, you can run into a camp and you don't even have to do anything. You could just call in an animal to take care of the camp for you. Why? What? Like, why would you do that? And why would they? I could see the meeting, like the guy being like, I got an idea. Like, let's give him a fast forward button. It would just call in a grizzly bear and he eats everybody and you get the objective and move on. Like, I don't know. I get it. Far Cry 3 got repetitive. I couldn't finish it. But that's just like, come on, like, and it's really just Far Cry 3 to me, reskinned a little bit, not even a lot.
Well, I think what they did, and probably the biggest reason why I haven't gotten into it yet, and what's gonna make me enjoy Far Cry 4 more than Far Cry 3 ever could be enjoyed, is simply because, like, when you're playing Far Cry 3, and I mean, you've played it, yeah. So I'm assuming you're.
I liked Far Cry 3, but just
open
to a point,
world concept. But to me, like, when I was playing Far Cry 3, the entire time I was playing it, I'd be like talking in an Xbox Live party with some of the guys, and I was like, we'd all be playing Far Cry 3, but in our own little separate worlds, because the co-op for Far Cry 3 was garbage. And the entire time we're like, what would be cool is if you could play the open world but co-op. And then Far Cry 4 adds co-op in the open world. So to me, that's what's going to make that game. And that's going to be the only reason I play. Like, the story and all that's going to take a backseat, and it's just going to be me trying to get into co-op and playing Far Cry with my buddies in an open world where you just run around and shoot stuff. I mean, imagine like I guess like a Grand Theft Auto, or No Heist 5, rather, I should say. And
are you salty?
Am I salty about that? No.
Salty, bro?
No, surely.
We'll get him on day one. Our day one is minus 365.
You know what? Okay.
Nip that in the bud. We're not going down that rabbit hole.
Destiny's coming back for a second, and so is Assassin's Creed. I gotta say, all right, Destiny.
What have you done?
I know. I should know better.
Assassin's Creed Unity has multiple heists. I can't tell you how many games I've played that have heists that isn't Grand Theft Auto. It's ridiculous.
But it's coming. Every month it's coming. I don't know what to tell you. They'll probably push it back one more time.
Oh, God, don't push it.
See, yeah, I mean, I don't play games like going back to Far Cry. I don't play those games for multiplayer, so I don't judge them on that anyway. I liked Far Cry 3. It was like I was saying, I have these timers in my head where I get in, I can enjoy the heck out of them, but then I just wake up one day, I'm like, I'm done, I'm good. I haven't finished it. The storyline was fairly decent. It was just too much BS to go through to keep advancing the storyline for me. If I could have done, like, I guess maybe called in a grizzly bear and just advance the storyline, that would have been great. Maybe they're onto something, but
in Far Cry 3, did you make it to the second island?
I was trying to get to the sex scene. That was, like, pretty much my goal.
The goal of every sweaty nerd is to get to the sex scene at the end of the game. Which is probably what sold most of Mass Effect's copies.
Oh yeah. No, the reason I ask is because at least the plot for Far Cry 3 just absolutely died once you got to the second island. Like it just fell off.
Like I'm not being kind of silly, but I mean the whole notion for me in that game was to try to find the girls, because I was kind of like, what is going on here? This whole Cancun party thing going on.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you're just like, how many? I got to kill this camp again. It's like a different configuration, same idea. Like, it just got so. How many leather handbags do I need to make out of friggin' Komodo dragons or whatever it was? Like, it was just like, it was so much minutia in the way of the storyline for me that I just got tired of it. I'm trying to think if I got to the second line. I don't remember where I stopped. I wasn't far in. I'd say maybe 50%.
I was just curious.
Because I started doing some of the other side quests, like the relics, I think they were called, right, and stuff. And I was just like,
yeah.
And like I said, I wake up one day. This is not just a Far Cry thing. This is any game. Skyrim. I'm good. I enjoyed the environment.
What games do you think you guys finish that you started?
No, not single player. None. Rarely. I think the last single player I finished was Bad Company 2, and that's like jaded because I definitely like pushed myself through that.
I have this weird thing where I have to finish every game that I play. And legit, I can tell you, matter of fact, there's only ever been 2 games in the past probably decade that I haven't finished. And one of those is Mass Effect 3, which I just haven't gotten around to it. And
you don't want to finish that one.
Yeah, I've heard the ending.
The ending's great. The internet is stupid.
Okay. Yeah, and then the other one that I didn't finish was actually Final Fantasy 13, and the reason I didn't finish that one is because I played it all the way up until like even the little in-game completion thing said 90%, and then my save file corrupted.
Oh,
and I was like, fucking
must bother you.
Nope, I'm doing all that shit again.
No, yeah,
So
I don't know. Like here's my like. I actually genuinely enjoyed Far Cry 3. The Voss, right? That was his name, the villain. That was a really good villain, and the environment was beautiful. Like it was a good experience. I just wasn't driven along fast enough, I guess, in a way. Maybe that was my own fault. And I was even doing the Let's Play at the time, so like that's usually like even more momentum for me to like keep driving on. Couldn't do it. Far Cry 4, it just to me, like I just look at videos, didn't seem like anything really new. It just seemed like a cookie cutter paste in the mountains, and I was just kind of like, I got my fill of that. You know, like, so, I mean, maybe if it gets on super sale, I'll do it just to see the pretty environment, but, and it seems like what I'm hearing now is basically, that's fairly spot on, as it's just Far Cry 3.5, which is fine. If you're into that, go for it. But for me, I don't have that notion right now, like Dragon Age, or like, I feel like I'm maybe missing, like Destiny's one, I feel like I'm kind of missing out on something, maybe that I don't. I'm like, I know what that is. You know, I got that. So, I don't know if anybody had anything to add. But I want to kind of start pushing along here a little bit.
I actually need to take a quick break, so if you could pick one of the games I haven't played.
Stick of Truth? That was the next one? Okay, there you go. Your excuse, sir. Darth, I guess this is going to be you.
Yeah, I can take over first.
Because I haven't touched it. It's not really a me game. We're going to keep it short, though, so just give a quick synopsis.
Yeah, I can do a quick synopsis. So, if you're familiar with South Park, the show, it is very much like that. It's actually one of the things that was interesting to me is how much surprising level of integration and awareness that the game had of itself, its jokes, over the past couple of years, and the fact that it was a game and how to roll that all into sort of just one nice package. It's actually probably one of the more refreshing games that I played recently where it's like, oh, hey, they did that different, but they did it different because they were trying to be funny in the way that they did it, or if they did it the same, they're making fun of it for that fact. And it gets progressively grosser. I'm actually really surprised this game is rated mature and not adults only. Like, I scratch my head as to how they got away with some of this stuff. You're
selling you better on this than you did Dragon Age.
I've seen you talking about the parents' bedroom thing.
Yeah, there's a parents' bedroom thing that really raised my eyebrow.
I would never play this in my office by myself, whatever. But like, I'm intrigued to stream it. Do you know what I mean? Like a group, that whole group thing. I missed the boat on that now, but you know, like that to me seems like that would be, or I guess YouTube to a lesser extent. But to me, I think that would be like an awesome live stream game where early on, first week, everybody's getting the jokes for the first time. But
yeah. Mechanically speaking, the game is nothing particularly special. Like, if you played a turn-based RPG, you played pretty much everything this game has to offer. But if you're at least a semi-fan of the show, like I don't watch every episode. I've maybe seen like 10% of them, and that might be a high mark. It's like all the jokes are still funny. Like it's really well put together for what it is, and I was actually really surprised that it wasn't just a licensed property like so many games are. Like they actually had real integration with the show's creators, so that was nice about it.
So it was true to the show, is what you're saying. That's I respect that.
Basically, it's an episode of the show you can play. Yeah, is what it comes down to.
See that
it's not terribly long either. I think it's maybe like 20 hours ish.
Yeah.
For an RPG, that's pretty short, but it's a decent, adequate experience, and you can pick it up for cheap now. It came out back in March, so it's not that expensive.
Now, while I'm just gonna move on from that because that was a quick one. While you're still talking, I want to talk about Alien Isolation. I haven't played it. I just added it on the list because it was kind of a unique experience for the year. You kind of took it to another level and said you messed around with it with Oculus Rift. So please, sir, take the stage and tell us about it. Because nope.
I played with it very briefly.
And that's exactly that's your quote here too. No, thank you.
One of my buddies actually had an Oculus Rift and Alien Isolation. I'm like, let's put let's see what the two look like together. And I know there are people that have tried it before at the same time. And basically, I got into it. I had played with the Oculus Rift some before the first version. This is actually the second edition Oculus Rift, which is a little bit better actually. But actually quite a bit better. I wasn't nearly as nauseous as I was with the first one.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I got into the game. And immediately I was overcome with dread, and I pretty much just moped around.
Why did you not film this?
The alien would find me to end the experience as quickly as possible.
I'm over here.
And then I hid. Yeah, then I hid in the locker.
Fetal position in the shower.
I was like, shit, what do I do?
How is an Oculus when you're curled up in the fetal position? Is it?
Yeah, and then and then my character stopped moving, and I'm like, why did I stop moving? I look down, I'm like, oh, because I've been impaled and I'm about to die.
Wow.
But yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. I think
I can't wait until PewDiePie gets an Oculus Rift.
To buy an Oculus Rift, that would probably be it.
Yeah, see, like part of me is like, nope, no way, But I'll have a couple beers, we'll have some friends over, and I'll be like, yeah, let's do this. And I'm gonna pee myself because this is gonna be great. And I hope I remember to record it because it's gonna be tons of revenue.
Yeah. Like if you've got an Oculus Rift, especially the second edition of it, I would highly recommend picking up that game because that seems like it would be a really fun experience.
That is like made. Yeah, I would 100%. Like I don't own one. I have no idea, but I don't even want to play that game without one. Like I do.
Because I don't do a lot of scary games because they just really mess with me, but I want to play that one because it looks like they nailed the aesthetic of Alien perfectly.
That's why I added it to the list.
I love that franchise, so I will play it eventually.
As far as experience-wise, I think that might have been. I'm like looking at the list quick. That might be the most. It's not really unique, but you know what I mean. Like the most immersive experience of the year, I think. But I'm not a scare guy at all.
So. The word immersive. Like so many people use the word immersion, and it doesn't describe some games as well.
Yeah, it's obviously a buzzword, especially from developers usually, but. That game with an Oculus Rift, I think that's immersive and no, thanks, no. I'm good on that.
Would you like to be
I'm a puss. Like I don't like scares. Like I don't like jump scares, especially at all. Like no way. I won't even watch a movie, even if I've seen it before. I don't even. No.
I'm in the same boat. Yeah.
I'm not. Like I got enough anxiety and stress in my life. Why am I inviting this in? No, I don't get that. But to each his own, I suppose. Anybody else had anything to add? Puppy, you touch on it. Paul, you touched on it, Puppy. No, I avoided this game, but I would watch someone play it. Like you guys did this, I would be all over this. Holy crap!
I watched a few live streams and laughed at the people that were playing it, but that was my experience in that.
No, thank you. So I'm just trying to look like what other ones we want to touch on. You guys talked about Thief a little bit. This is out of my realm, but I didn't touch this. But Polly and Puppy, I think you guys had some experience with this game. Is it worth mentioning as far as a highlight reel of the year?
Highlight reel of the year. You know what, Polly? If you liked it, I'll let you go.
Well, Polly, obviously, I think you put it on, right?
Well, I was like, I'm the one who added it just because I didn't think anyone else would play it, and I just wanted to because I'm playing it kind of now because I got it on the Steam sale. I'm a huge fan of the original Thief game, so I definitely wanted to play this one, and I've got some nitpicks with it, but overall, it's pretty good. I guess. I mean,
okay.
I don't want to take up too much time for it because in the end, most people aren't interested in it. So
yeah, I will say that it definitely satisfies my inner klepto, and it has a better stealth system than
rifling through drawers is great.
Yeah, it has a better stealth system than say Skyrim, where if you want to steal something, you just place bucket over their head and you can rob their whole store. Good to go. Like you can't exactly do that. So the stealth system's actually pretty good, but I don't know. You know what it is I think that particular game, I personally am suffering a bit too much from fanboy reminiscence. I don't know what you'd call it. I don't like it just because it's not Thief 3.
Right, they didn't go the way you wanted them to go.
Yeah,
right.
it's more reimagining of the franchise of like we've got this main character and we've got sort of this world, and how would we do it now if none of the others has existed? It's more of a sort of reboot than it is a sequel.
All right,
Yeah.
so we're gonna move on from that. I'm gonna name a couple games. We got a list here. I want to keep moving because we got events that I think are going to do it. I want chat to chime in which ones they might want us to talk about. I'm just going to tell you right now, what game I want, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Roller Coaster Tycoon with the Oculus Rift. I think that'll be awesome. I want to do that. Can we make that happen? I will buy that.
Some of the demos they do for OCR have roller coasters in them.
I think that's where it's at. I can walk through my park. Like, that'd be awesome. I don't know. I love that game. It's one of my all-time favorite games. So that's why. But I'm gonna run down some, and we can go back to talking about this. But Titanfall release, we decided. Hearthstone. I don't think any of us has experience with this, but this might be the biggest game of the year. I mean, this is
played it briefly.
Biggest moneymaker
only because it's on mobile.
Maybe League, but League's not this year alone. Wolfenstein. I didn't experience it, but a lot of people had this as their game of the year. We can chime in. You guys, when I'm done with the list, you guys can talk about this. But Chad, I want you to tell me which ones you want us to maybe touch on. But we don't have a lot of experience. That's why it's on the bottom of the list. Watch Dogs. We can just pan this game for days. And I'm worried that we're gonna get Division Dogs in another year. So I don't know. We can talk. That's another podcast though. League, CS:GO, the highly anticipated game Farming Simulator 2015. These are from chat now. So chat, if you got any other games you want us to talk about, or you guys can chime in and we'll react to your reaction. That's fine. And then we're gonna move on to events. But like Hearthstone, like I tried it. And I was all about this. I was like, I'm not going to play this on desktop. I'm going to wait until it's on iPad or something. That's a perfect game for me. My boys are playing. I'm on the couch. I can't get to my PC. Boom, here we go. And it just didn't grab me. I don't know about if you guys tried it at all, but I tell you what, man, it's huge. You guys know that, obviously, but it's like the game I want to like. I just can't do it. I just can't. I can't get my hooks in it.
It's huge, but I haven't played it, so I don't know how valid that makes any opinion I have of it. But I personally take issue with just about every video game that's also a card game. I feel like card games belong with card games, and if you're gonna make a video game that has the same kind of rules and mechanics as a card game, I feel like you could do a little better than to just show people cards.
But here's the like
as an iPad thing though, I think that works for tablet. That's why I never played it, because I don't have a tablet to play it on.
More on tablet or phone, or I'm stuck on a plane. You get that competitive itch. Like to me, it's like, I mean, I get the card game thing, but for me, it's like, because you see, like, I see Let's Play popping up for like Cards Against Humanity right now, and like I was like,
God, that's so good.
The point of these games is to play with your friends. Like it's not awkward if I'm being awkward in front of a stranger. Like I don't know, but like against other games, like I wish I did, but like I don't have experience. I'm not able to go play with these people. So like Hearthstone makes sense to me. I just can't get pulled in, and I know sort of like DT. I know is I think recently been on it. Like we have on Slack, the League of Legends channel, and these guys are talking about cards all day, nerds, and it's like all I want to do is talk about skins and stuff, and they want to talk about cards. It pisses me off, actually. But I want to spend money on skins, not on cards. But if it isn't, no, Blizzard does it again and just prints fucking money. It's like unbelievable. But like I've gone to the game 3 or 4 times. I got into the beta, so of course I had to try it out because I felt all special. I guess I just don't have the time for some of these games to really sink in and get the nuances, but I don't think it's really that hard either, so I don't know. But I think it's a cool game. I like the variety it adds to the kind of the gaming in general, but I haven't been able to get into it. We've got Insurgency. Someone's mentioning. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. I don't know. Have you guys tried this at all? I have not. I own it. I have it. I just have not.
I keep seeing it and hearing it. I still haven't tried it. And a lot of it is I have an addiction to one game, and I usually try to honor that one addiction.
I'm a narrow and deep guy. Like, I play one game a ton. I was leaning Insurgency, and I think I even bought it one of these Steam sales. And then I played CSGO, and I was just like, no, that's just CSGO's not me. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was, but it wasn't my game where I'm going to play it every night, all night. You know, like some people do. And I was like, Insurgency's more to that angle than Battlefield, say, and Battlefield's more my speed. I love some of the concepts. It's just it didn't catch on me. It just hasn't pulled me into to play. Let's all play Cards Against Humanity after the stream. I honestly, Puppy 008 Cards Against Humanity.
That would be good.
We get, like,
that would be a blast.
And Dell on opposite. It would be honestly pretty friggin' hilarious. I think we might have to make this happen. I'll pay for it all.
Stream it, dude. Make it happen.
No, this might have to be in-house because I don't know if YouTube and Twitch would want that. Death threats are probably against the TOS, I think. That would be great. DT set it up, but
I look at CSGO, and all I see is Counter-Strike, the same game I played 10 years ago religiously.
Like, I'm torn because it's like I'm nostalgic on one hand. Like, it's the same game, but it's like got a couple layers on top of it that I'm like, this is cool, but I'm still equally bad at it. So it's just, I don't know. It's weird. And Insurgency, it's like I want to play it because I want to support it because I like what they're trying to do. I just don't have room for another hardcore kind of like shooter in my life right now, I don't think. I'm just trying to go through. Let's talk. Well, go ahead, Puppy.
I'm not good enough at pointing with my
nose. I could see. Well, plus, I mean, those fast reactionary games could be a little hard for you. Let's flip the coin here, and the chat might have some fun with this. What's your worst gaming experience? Like, what's the game? If right here I handed you a token, insta refund. Mine's easy. I can tell you right now, but I'll wait because I want to see what you guys got to say. I want to see what chat says. Mm-hmm. What can you get an insta refund on right now, if you could do it?
From the last year?
Yeah, that's like 2014. Well, you guys think mine's easy. Call of Duty Advanced Warfighter.
You bought that?
Yeah, I got sucked in on the hype so bad. It's so bad.
I don't think I made any bad purchases in the last year. I haven't bought a whole lot of games. I think that also helps.
This is what pisses me off.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Getting rolled up into the hype, it's fine. Like, I don't have a problem with that because that's why I play video games. I want to be excited about games. Like, I want to get sucked in. I want to be like, but I was so good about Titanfall. Like, I dodged that. I tiptoed around that. I was like, no, I don't see it. I'm avoiding it. Oh, you guys are all playing it. That's cool. You love this game. It's new. No, it's not. 2 weeks later, suddenly it's not the greatest game in the world. And I was like, all right, it is what I saw. Call of Duty, I saw it, and I just couldn't tiptoe around it, and I tripped and fell, and Steam took my money, and like, what I saw in the game is there. Like, it's there. It could be a good game. It's another one of those, technically, it's not a good game. It's the lag compensation, the dedicated servers. But I haven't even kept up with. Maybe they've fixed some of the things, but I don't care anymore. Ship has sailed for me. So I would get my money back on that in a heartbeat. I didn't get that full price, but I think it's probably like $40, which that's a lot for me. I don't spend over $30 very often. So that to me is like easily right now. Because like I don't buy a lot of games. That one, I think it's more because I feel like I got sucked in on that one. I got sucked into the hype on that one. I knew better, and I still crumbled. I couldn't even make a review video on that because I was so like embarrassed by it. I was like, I don't even want to admit that I bought this game. So it's unfortunate because it could have been a really good game. It could have been a fun game, but they didn't support it.
Did you make it through all the way through the single player?
I didn't touch the single player for a minute. If that answers your question. No, I don't.
I think that was kind of funny. And my Call of Duty experience for Modern Warfare was I only played the single player. I didn't have any interest in the multiplayer. Then the second one I played mostly just the multiplayer. And then the third one came along and I'm like, meh.
You know what? Like, now that you mention it, I could, like, let's say, like, right now I'm in winter. As I get into February, maybe, like, I've watched I'm not working as much. It's winter. I've watched Netflix. I've watched all this. I'm looking for that fix. Like, maybe, but maybe trying to squeeze some value out of it. But I'm so like the taste in my mouth is so bad. Like I'm just like, even though I love him, what's the guy's name? I can't think of it. Like I want to say House of Cards. What the fuck is the guy's name?
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I love. I mean, I'm all about him. House of Cards is one of my favorite shows, right now and all time probably. But I just no. I know what single players are. But that's easily mine. What do you guys got?
Are we counting games that? Does it have to have been a game that came out this year? Because
no, you could say whatever you bought this year. I guess
there was one that I got. It was actually really early this in 2014. It was January 2014. I got Rise.
Well, you bought a demo.
It was
because you didn't have many other games to buy, probably.
There wasn't much else to choose from.
Right.
Yeah, it was and it was just a tech demo. Look at how pretty our games on this console can be. But it was legitimately one of the most disappointing games I've ever played. I think the only game that's probably the only games that are worse than that I've played are Steel Battalion and Warfighter. Probably.
Like I'm trying to think. I'm looking at you and I'm staring at you. I'm like, I know there's got to be a game I'm going to think about that I can bring up to you, and I just can't. There's got to be something I can think. I don't know.
I'm glad I didn't buy Steel Battalion 2. I rented that one. That was pretty rough.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you're in a weird position because you're in the first year of a console. You're gonna like stretch your boundaries a little bit.
There's some
like, against my better judgment, I'm gonna pick this up because I want something new, but. PC doesn't really have that excuse. We have so much indie games and everything.
I don't know. I've been so cautious recently with my purchases. I can't think of anything.
I think that's a lot of my deal too. Is like all the PC, literally, even the ones that were blessed to me by people that are so awesome. All of my PC games have come to me free. I haven't bought a single PC game, so
that's one of my favorite things. Is
even the games that are on PC that I don't enjoy so much, I got for free. So I can't really say, I want a refund on this, because the only bad PC game I've played, which is totally not 2014, was Mountain Blade, and that's just because it was dated.
So basically, you've played a lot of bad games. It's what you're getting at. It's just like the width and the breadth of what I've played this year. It's just I can't pick just one. Polly, what do you got?
I didn't buy a whole lot this year, so anything I bought, I knew what I was getting before I picked it up. So I didn't really have anything bad this year.
Well, yeah, chat's bringing. I mean, Marvelo is bringing up a different angle, but maybe you bought something at launch that maybe you wish you could have waited on. I mean, there's a plethora of those games, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But Darth, what do you got? Do you have one that jumps out at you? Like for me, like mine was easy.
I really don't.
No, you guys are just better consumers than I am.
I played Battlefield for I mailed a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I played Battlefield 4. I mean, so Battlefield Hardline
premium maybe
wasn't even a game that I paid for, and it's not out yet, so I can't even pass judgment on that one for a couple of weeks yet.
Wow, yeah, let's hope Hardline is in the 2015s, right? We got, like I said, we got League Season Farming Simulator. It still cracks me. We got Worst Game of the Year. All right, so let's really quickly, because I do want to move on. We're actually not too bad, but what's your personal? This is not like a critical review or any of that garbage. Your personal Game of the Year. It doesn't necessarily have to be your most played, but, like what's your personal Game of the Year? Like, probably you don't even have to go.
No, actually, it's not going to be what you
expect. All right, then
intrigue
me. God, what do you got? Because mine's gonna be really weird, and it's
my Game of the Year is, and it's not just by a little bit either. It is without a shadow of a doubt, like miles and miles ahead, my favorite Game of the Year. And the only reason I didn't talk about it more is because it didn't last very long. Is Super Time Force. That game.
I want to play that.
Was brilliant, and it was so much fun. It's a little indie game.
Oh, is this the one you talked about last episode? You got
maybe
you talked about.
Did I talk about it?
Only because I just watched 11 like a little bit to kind of catch myself up, and you talked about some free game you got.
It was free.
I think this is the game you talked about. All right, cool.
It might have been, but that's
when we talked about like what you've been playing. You were like, "Oh, this little game I got for free," and Aardvark laughed at you.
Yeah, it's brilliant. In fact, I think the PC guys, you guys get actually a better version of it on Steam, and it's pretty
Ultra
cheap.
or whatever.
Yeah, you guys get Ultra. So if you see it,
we get all the frames.
I recommend. I highly recommend you pick it up. Like
Yeah, that's definitely a game that's been on my list of one I want to play because it looks really, really cool. The like kind of main
DT, why am I
gimmick of it looks really fun.
Bad idea.
12 out of 10 would play again. That's all I'm saying.
So that's your game of the year over a 570-hour Destiny.
Over Destiny.
You're just trying to throw us off your scent.
No, I'm not. Genuinely. I had more fun playing it, and
cool.
I mean, like
I love that.
I'd invite people over, and like we'd get drunk and we'd play it, and have a good time. It was a blast. It's the reason why I say it's my game of the year is because it's the one game that I had the most fun playing.
Unadulterated fun. There was no bullshit. I appreciate that. Right.
Hands down, the most fun game I played this year. So,
Polly, what do you got?
Dragon Age.
Yeah, 90 hours.
It's the game I was waiting for all year to play.
Oh, okay.
It lived up to my expectations. I had a blast all 90 hours. It didn't get old on me. Definitely my game of the year.
Now you're selling me. You're selling me better now than you were before.
It seems like a game that would definitely appeal to people who are fans of.
If that's your game, if that's your wheelhouse, right? But like, I'm.
Yeah, it's definitely in my wheelhouse. I love RPGs. I really like the first 2 Dragon Age games. So yeah, it's definitely one for me.
Darth, what was your favorite DLC of the year?
Gosh, I definitely hated.
That's where we're going, right? I mean, whether you want to say that's your game, that's your. You're with me. We're kin in that way, but that's not my favorite game of the year. But
Dragon's Teeth was probably the best we've gotten for Battlefield 4,
far,
honestly, and it's not even that. I want to say it's okay. I don't know.
Right.
There's such a gold aura around Aftermath now. It's kind of hard to touch.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like for me, I'm not. Maybe I need to sit and think. I'm not going to do it now because we're not going to waste time. But maybe Battlefield 4 would be. I have to give some credence to the hours played, right? I mean, I do.
Yeah. Well, I think the nice thing about 2014 is the story of Battlefield 4 sort of reinventing its image among its fans.
Oh yeah, do I not have that? I had a conversation with somebody as far as events. Dice LA taking over development. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest storylines, at least in our lives here.
I mean, if you were to play the Battlefield 4 in November of this year versus November of last year, it would be night and day.
It's remarkable. As frustrated as I get now, it's just kind of like I never thought they'd do half of what they're doing. And now they're talking about more. And I do have a note. I don't think we're going to get to it. Maybe we'll do it in a post show about the TDM maps and stuff like that. But so would that be your game of the year? I mean, not like I said, not just games.
Maybe my reinvented game of the year. I know there's games out there that would probably actually make my game of the year.
You tip your hat to it, right?
I tip my hat to Battlefield 4, and in fact,
especially you as
itself. I'm actually really curious to try Mordor because I think I'm actually going to really enjoy that, being an action junkie.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't even know how to summarize it for you, but yeah, it's for me. I got it for $30. That to me is it's a no-brainer value for me. Totally good. As far as like whatever, if you get it more for that, I mean, you could definitely get your money's worth of that. But I've already gotten I'm 10 hours in. I'm cool with 30. Right now, and I'll play it. I'll play it at least for another 10 or 20, I would think. So I'll hit that magical $1 an hour mark, which is always good. So, yeah, to me, it's like that game that I turn on. I guess I didn't know. Just tune out, just slash, and it's a rhythmical thing. It's like it's a timing thing. So you just kind of you zone in, and it makes you feel like a god, but it still strangely challenges you in a way. It's like it's a weird blend that most games don't get. Usually you're a god and you just get bored because you're not challenged. This one's still in a weird way with the nemesis system and everything. It's just there's enough of a challenge there. You're like, okay, cool. I'm not.
Although I do have to say, Dragon Age may actually yet turn a wheel for me. I mean, it was probably 40 hours into Origins before I'm like, hey, this game's actually really fun. All right,
you find yourself thinking about it when you're offline and stuff. Well, I think we're gonna get together and play this. I'm telling you right now. I will pick it up at some point. Polly will be our Sherpa, just kind of like guide us through. A couple of us will just drink. You can bring Jose along with you, and we'll play this, and it'll be last for sure.
I don't even know how the co-op works because the game single player it's party based, so I guess it's like 4-person party and co-op. I don't know. I haven't played it, so
I'm just gonna kill.
I'll have to look into it.
I'm gonna Leroy Jenkins everything. That's what I do in Mordor. Just run in. I figure out later if that was a good idea or not. I have a bunch of really leveled up orc captains. Let me tell you. So for me, like I'm going indie here. I just had to look. I was gonna say RimWorld, but that's like my new fling right now. Like I am obsessed with this game. It's gross. I watch streams. I read Reddits. But that's great. That's how I fall deep when I fall for something. I don't go wide. I fall deep. But I did just look, and my Prison Architect was January 4th. So that qualifies for 2014.
Just
and
barely.
That is a great game.
Barely.
That is a great game. So I'm just going to go indie games right now. I'm just going to say indie games, because Timberstone's been going for me forever. But, 2014 for me by far, especially with the disappointment with Battlefield 4. Then Titanfall, I didn't buy it, but it disappointed. And then all these other, for me, it's been the year of indie games for me. Like, that's all I've played. I mean, I would say 50% of my time has been on indie games, and that's only because Battlefield 4 has dominated so much of my time. A single AAA game. So I think Mordor might be the only
game of the year every year.
Wow. I think I'm wondering if I managed
by time, that's the one that I play the most.
2014 might be the first year I have not played an hour. And I must have played it last winter. I always play it for like a month, like a retard.
Never played Minecraft.
It's a great game. Like as much as
because I am afraid that it will suck
that's
me.
Legitimate. That is 100% legitimate.
Oh, yeah.
Just look at Puppy. Look what it's done to his life.
I have
on two consoles, on two platforms.
No, I'm not gonna talk about it.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on off games because we do we're gonna pretend like we do
topics.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna pretend like we like an actual news source. So, chat. We're talking about events. We have some of the big ones here. If you guys have, I mean, again, this is such a wide open category. So, and Darth, you're like moving your mouse all over the document. It's bugging me out right now. So to give you an idea, we're going to start off with Amazon buys Twitch. So it's not directly gaming. It's kind of ancillary, but it's obviously Twitch is a part of gaming. YouTube's a part of gaming.
We can even combine some of these together with
it's pretty much going to be
giant acquisitions.
Yeah, it's pretty much going to be Facebook and Oculus, Amazon and Twitch. Hello, Puppy. Do you read the news? Microsoft and Minecraft. I mean, it's acquisition, the year of acquisition. That's actually a very good way to put it. And that's how I'm gonna.
Were spent.
That's how I'm gonna address it. Like to me, and that's why I have Amazon buys Twitch first. Because to me, this is awesome to me because it differentiates everything. Like there's another big player on the block. Now we got Microsoft on Minecraft, obviously, and an Xbox. Sony's in there with PS. We've got Google and YouTube. If any of those guys had gotten Twitch, it's just like consolidating. I like differentiating. I like competition. Amazon, obviously, with their hosting and their cloud services, seems like a pretty good fit to me with Twitch. And again, I don't want these people. I don't want one guy in any more control than they have to be. So, I like the idea that Amazon bought Twitch. It's a little weird. I actually thought it was a little undervalued, to be honest.
At Google buying Twitch, and people were speculating that it was going to be
for a while,
Google.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I thought would
might
have
just been them trying to sweeten their own pot deal with Amazon and say, hey, look, Google's interested. Maybe you should buy us for a lot of money.
I mean, I think it's a no-brainer that Google probably was interested. Whether they were at their price point or not, I think if Google wasn't, then I don't know what they were doing. Because they gave up on their YouTube Live a couple years ago now. So
it's still there. I don't think
they gave up on it a long time ago. And so much so that the whole staff is now working at Google. But yeah, I mean, I think definitely there was some leaks going on there, but that's business 101. But I like the Amazon move here, and like you said, we could talk about the whole acquisition topic at large. I'm trying to think if there's one. Facebook buys Oculus. I mean, we haven't really. I kind of was expecting to hear a little more from that. Now that was quite a little bit of a while ago.
I mean, you hear a bunch from Oculus still, but you don't hear about the Facebook angle yet. I don't think we will till Oculus is more close to coming out to market. Yeah. And not
I wonder if Oculus knows what the Facebook
kids.
Angle is.
Have they settled their lawsuit with Bethesda over the fact that a lot of the work seems to have been done for Oculus by I can't remember his name all of a sudden.
Carmack?
Carmack, yeah.
He's Bethesda?
I don't know if that's settled or not. He was at Bethesda.
He was? I don't know.
Because Bethesda owned whatever their company was.
What was his name?
I'm being terrible with names right now.
It's not id, was it? What was it?
Bethesda owns id.
Oh, so he was with id, right?
Yeah.
For a long time.
I am impressed. So good.
Excuse me, that's not Bethesda. It's ZeniMax. ZeniMax is the parent company.
Okay.
Bethesda, GameWorks they're owned by ZeniMax. They're all the same company.
Well, we're talking about Carmack then, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
He consulted for a while.
He worked at it, and then he worked at Oculus.
And now he's
shortly thereafter
on the board of Oculus or something. Yeah. But that's, I mean, again, we don't know the business language and the details of it, but that is, I think that speaks volumes. So here's a guy who's been in around forever, and he's passionate enough to leave and jump on there. Now, let me ask you guys, like, I was talking to my buddy the other day. Didn't somebody that was like a head designer at Oculus die in like a car crash or something, or like he got run over? I thought I remember.
What news are you reading?
No, it's chat. Tell me if you know. Yeah. I thought somebody got hit by a car or something. Like he was a major engineer. I thought he was like one of the partners.
But I don't know.
I don't know why. Maybe I dreamt it. I don't know. But I was talking about this the other day. Who's the guy? Palmer.
Is
it Palmer Luckey or something? Isn't that the guy's name? The CEO or whatever. And I'm like, I thought the one guy, one of the founder guys, got like hit by a car and died or something crazy.
Yeah,
I should probably Google it. That would probably be a smart
I just Googled it. It looks like one of the developers. I don't know.
All right. So somebody involved did. So I'm not just making this up. Okay, that's all I need to know. I'm not crazy.
At least not for that.
Yeah, I read an article or a newspaper article, something like that. I was just like, oh wow, but. I don't know. I think Oculus is still years out, frankly, as being, adopted. But, I mean, Alien Isolation, that to me is a marriage made in hell. But, not for me. Like, it's not for me, but that is the game, I mean, I think of common things like golf simulators and, like more muted things. And, like I said, silly things like a roller coaster tycoon. I'm not even kidding. Like, I think that would be awesome. But clearly, I think it's like... it's what's it called when it's what's the app? Killer app would be like scare videos like an Alien Isolation. I think is going to be insane, and porn. We've talked about this. The Fleshlight Oculus combo package. We have 12 podcasts. I think we've talked about this on 5 or 6. Yeah, you need a lot of USBs. That's USB 3 if you have it with a drain plug. So yeah, like Polly said, it's the year of the acquisitions, which was kind of crazy. I don't know. Does anybody else feel like
Facebook and Oculus? I didn't see coming. Like
no.
That seems like a strange.
that
seems like a strange match.
I feel like there's like he's sitting there like this. He's just like he's got some like dark plan for this, like 3 years down the road that we don't see.
How can we use Oculus to annoy everyone's Facebook feeds?
Let me search through my pictures. Yeah. All right. Now I'm stalking.
Minority Report, right? Yeah. Right. It's like, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. I don't understand how it all fits. But again, I like that all these pieces have been spread around. Like that's just my thing. That's just my ethics. But anybody think what did Microsoft buy? $2 billion, right? Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah.
Was it 2?
2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about that? I remember seeing 2 billion, and I remember seeing, obviously reporters, what the hell they know, but they were saying they expected to make their money back in 1 year, or make their value back in 1 year, and that's incredible to me.
That doesn't seem unlikely.
I have a 6-year-old and I have a 3-year-old, and I will tell you what, they might have them for life. It's like Legos.
It's really what they're buying here. Is they're buying the brand,
right?
They're already doing Telltale that does all the adventure games. They're putting out a Minecraft story mode, is what it's called, coming out this year. It's gonna be like an episodic adventure game with the Minecraft name on it.
Like merch for Minecraft is so underserved. Underserved.
Santa hit up in our house. Santa hit the Minecraft hard, and it wasn't because Daddy may be a gamer. It was because that's what the kids asked for.
Right. Well, I see it. It was funny because I was just picking my son up today at his elementary school. He's a kindergartner, and there's 2 or 3 kids with creeper like winter hats on, and like I'm like and I look at their dads and I'm like, their dads have no idea what their kid is wearing. I'm like, that's too bad. Like, that's really too bad because, that's cool. That kid's pretty cool. Like, to me, it
really is a smart match for them. I mean, Microsoft at its heart has always been a marketing company, so.
Like, it might take them a while as far as profit, loss, but I think value, like I said, value in 1 year, I could see that. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I don't know if you guys have paid attention. Notch just bought like a ridiculous fucking
Yeah, he
house.
bought-
He outbid
like a
Jay-Z.
Beverly
And
Hills
yeah, that's where I
$7
was going
million
by. He
house.
outbid. He teabagged
"No."
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
It has a room for candy in it. Like, I want to go visit this place.
How cool is that though? Like the article came
crazy.
out. I don't know. Like I'm a Twitter whore when I'm at work. It was all these stories breaking. Like, oh, Notch outbid Jay-Z and Beyonce, and it was all these articles project. Like they were looking up the listings of the house, and they were like rumoring about this candy room, right? And then he posts just this picture of his feet up on a stool with the candy room in the background. I was like, I fucking love you. Like that is so boss. Like here's this guy that just. I mean, listen, you can take issue with him. I do. I think he's a little bit of a schmuck on Twitter and his little where he gets on his soapbox sometimes. But this guy just liked games and he made his game. He made his game. And now could you imagine that feeling? Like you're sitting there reading Twitter and all this conjecture about what you just did, you know, outbidding these people, and you're sitting with your feet on the stool looking at the candy room and going, yep. That's got to be the most empowering feeling in the world. And so I was like, that's awesome, sir. Congratulations to you. So I don't know, that was great.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently
he's
they've
never
just
been
now-
afraid of spending money.
Yeah.
His GDC parties are apparently insane.
Yeah, he's got a, oh God, what's the DJ's guys? I'm not hip enough.
I forget. Did he get Dead Mouse last year?
Dead Mouse, yes. I was like the guy with the hat. Yeah, that's right. Yes, he always gets like ridiculous people, but I mean, I think we also, I mean, Polly and you and Puppy, you play this a lot closer than I do, but we saw the writing on the wall here. He was half foot out the door for, I'd say, at least a year, if not more.
Well, yeah, he didn't have anything to do with Minecraft for a long time, other than like he's just still a guy that's named. But he was off doing.
He
his
was
own thing for quite a
disenfranchised.
while.
Like he was getting bitter on it at the.
Oh, yeah.
He, you know what I mean? Like not only was he not hands on every day like the lead dev, he didn't like the spotlight. I don't think, like the money. And more power to you. He said that. I think that, which is great. Yeah. So.
I feel like he
for
said he
that.
didn't even understand how it got so popular.
I don't think anybody does. Like, I mean, as a gamer, you do, because it's a great game, but you wouldn't because you're a Neanderthal who hasn't played it. But
Oh, I know why it's popular, and I can see the appeal of it, and I am terrified that I would spend hundreds upon hundreds of hours building castles in the sky.
yeah, or just dropping TNT into a hole over and over and over again.
No, see, the thing about it that I'm also afraid of is I see such great opportunity to troll in that game that I'm like, oh, that's way too tempting for my inner asshole.
Part of the game, though. It's like, yeah,
you gotta be an asshole to everybody.
There's some interesting tweets going on today. Apparently, they just now have the ability to see how many people are playing Minecraft at any given moment, and it was like just less than 1 million or something this morning.
Wow.
And apparently,
Wait, what
half
was it?
of that
What
is
was it?
multiplayer and half is single player, which was surprising to some people.
So concurrent players right now is a
Yeah,
million.
concurrent players. Like some point this morning was when it
Holy.
was
And
Dinnerbone. The guy tweeted it out.
Right.
I'm sure that's the number of people that have the game legitimately too. That's not the
No,
even
they have a
touching
lot
the
more.
number of pirated.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah, they've sold way more copies. I think they said they sold like 6 million mobile or something. It was something.
Well, they just hit
It's
18 million
constantly-
on PC.
It was an obnoxious.
Mobile
number.
is like 30 million or something.
It's
now.
constantly number 1 or number 2.
Oh, it's
huge.
and it is the
grossing
worst
for
game ever. I'm sorry. I love I'm a Minecraft fan. Like I'm that guy that like found that pub band and like, I like these guys, and then they're Aerosmith like 20 years later, and you're like, dude, I knew them when I knew them. Like I got Minecraft so early on. Like I got it for like $10.
I knew it before it was
like,
cool.
I got it before
was
there was
great.
Kickstarter. Okay, shut the fuck up. Sorry. So like I feel like kindred to it. Like, and I always will, and that's great. It's a great game to have that feeling for. But so but I look at mobile. I'm like, oh my god, no, you're not playing that. That is not Minecraft. That is some torture chamber of frustration. It's
Thank you for telling me that. I will
no,
now not get-
don't make that your first endeavor then into it, because
Yeah.
it's so bad. My kids have no problem with it though. They're like, shh, no problem. And they make things and they're way better than me on PC. But to me, I can't even get out of a hole. It's like so bad. Like right now, I don't know if you can see it. I'm like so annoyed right now just talking about it. Let's talk a little bit. So we covered acquisition. The chat has kind of moved on as we have now. So let's move on a little bit. PS4 versus Xbox One. Probably this is your wheelhouse. Probably I know you have a little kind of knowledge there, whereas I don't at all. I mean, my impression is PS4 is killing Xbox right now, but I think Xbox has slashed prices quite a bit. So I would imagine it's probably come back a little bit. No.
Xbox did a lot of things this year that
let me say Xbox price has got me looking at it. Otherwise, I would have had a PS4.
I think Microsoft they very much slow played it, and they shouldn't have slow played it to begin with. But they slow played it to where they started picking up sales at the end of the year to where actually like the last 3 or 4 months they actually outsold PS4.
Oh yeah.
Per the month, not period. I think period. PlayStation still has raffle stomped everything.
Well, they just jumped out to such a lead right off the bat. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Xbox has been making a good comeback just because they dropped their price and then they went ahead and did like everyone was saying they should have done from the get-go, and they started selling copies without the Kinect, which was a terrible idea to force people to bundle that in there for the extra $100. Personally, I like my Kinect and I think it's totally worth it. But I think forcing people to buy it was a really bad move. And yeah, I don't know. They're coming back, but
the Kinect, yeah, we talk about it. I mean,
will as far as the year 2014,
well, neither is going anywhere. Yeah,
I think as far as the year of 2014 and who won 2014, because I mean, it's the battle is going to continue until both consoles die, and then we move on to
7 or 8 years, right?
Yeah, the next one, which. I honestly think it's going to come 5 years from our last release.
You got to imagine things are going to accelerate, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to pick up the pace and push it out a little quicker. But I think that PlayStation 4 won 2014.
I'm going to go out on a weird limb here and say Wii U won 2014.
No.
Because
I'm going to go
look at the exclusive type games that came out for all the platforms. Wii U had way more than the other ones did. Like, they had a Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, and then they had a few other side ones that also did really well.
Quality, though, that's the question, because
they're all quality. Look at the reviews and the people playing them. Now, they might
I've
not
looked
be
at Wii U. I've had it in my hands, and I've been like, I want to buy this for my kids.
Yeah.
I can't buy this for my kids. There's just not enough. It's the same, same thing. Like I said, let's say I've had a PlayStation or Xbox. I have Last of Us Remastered. I have Destiny. What else do I have? Like, it's the same. Wii U is like Mario Kart. Like, what am I like? That's the problem. Like, don't get me wrong.
Not paying attention. This is the year that Wii U actually got stuff on the platform, which is why I'm kind of saying it's the dark horse winner.
For $400 or whatever that thing is.
It's not as expensive.
It was when I was looking at it. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not bashing the system. I want to be clear about that. I've literally looked at it and I'm like, especially for my kids, I'm like, I want them in Mario and Nintendo. I trust Nintendo a lot more than I trust Sony or Microsoft, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I've literally been in the store like holding it in my hands, and I'm like, I just don't see 6 months from now the value. They're gonna be sick of Mario Kart at that point. Where do I go then? And now this is not me. This is me trying to project for my kids, which was a little harder to do. But that's always been a Nintendo thing, though. They've always they keep their content in house, basically. I mean, even when they don't, the third party content is terrible. It's usually Nintendo or it's nothing, which is why we love Nintendo, right? Now. But as far as money wise, that's what makes it hard to spend money, and that's what I think. It's even you Wii U, you go PS4, they're all flawed in that way. The systems are whatever they are. You can make your own. They're all flawed, and they all have things going on. They lack content. They lack the games right now, and so. But that's first year. I guess that's to be expected. But
well, they had to dump all their big ones, other than Mario Kart, were all at the end of the year this year. They had a ton of games that came out between sort of September and even December. They had one come out early December that was kind of a cute, kid-friendly Captain Toad Treasure Tracker that a lot of people seem to like. So, I don't know. Nintendo got a lot of things, but mostly in the last bit of the year.
Captain Toad. You got to hit those holiday releases.
It's kind of the first time that I want to buy the console. Not, a big part of that is because I love the first Bayonetta, and Bayonetta 2, the only place you can play it is Wii U, but there's some other stuff I would want to play on there too.
My kids would lose their shit if I brought Mario card home on a Wii U. Like, and I want to do that, but it's just like, can I do it for one? And I would too. I'd be all about it. I'd be hyped. But it's just like, I mean, the same problem I run into on each console. That's why I don't have one yet. It's not that I don't want one. It's not that I don't, I'm this PC Master Elite guy that I portray on Twitter. No, I'd have them all if I felt like it was worth it. I spend money on less all the time.
It's one of those things where you wait a few years for them to have a bunch of games come out so you know which ones are worth it and then pick them up when they're cheap.
Yeah.
If you're not into it, like, if you're not wanting to play it as your primary place, then
they bring Excitebike back. It is a done deal.
Didn't they do that?
Like
on the Wii they did,
yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's been I haven't invested in this generation of consoles at all because I'm sort of waiting for either a winner to emerge or for a winner game that I need to be on one of the platforms. And it's been like, most of the stuff that I play is also on
Puppy
PC.
and Crew 4 is like, for me, like on paper, I lay it out. I am clearly, like, not even close a PS4 guy.
Yeah.
I don't mean to hate on nobody, but I want to play with Puppy. I want to play with Bumbles. I want to play with these guys. Like, we clearly, 008, have a way bigger presence on the Microsoft Xbox platform, and it's like, so then I'm forced with this decision of like I'm a tech guy, I'm a numbers guy, I'm a hardware guy, but what good is that hardware if you're not playing with people? And it's like, so I'm then on the fence. Like, if let's say I was just Joe Gamer on my own, I didn't know anybody, I'd have a PS4 probably right now. I probably would, but like it's like I could so see myself sitting in the store and being like, I can't decide, so here's $900. Like, give me them both. It's so dumb, but it's like
we'll see about that after tax season this year for me.
But it's like, what good is a game system if you're not playing with your friends? And that's how they and that's Xbox knows that. You kidding me? They know that they have the superior platform for playing with your friends, and that's their leverage. But it's truth. I mean, I don't know how PlayStation 4 might be better. I don't know, but as far as just like performance and all that, I think PlayStation 4 this year has just done better. But I mean, like you said, Darth and I kind of, and probably I guess you do too. Like we kind of have a good position where we could just sit back and be like, see how it shakes out. But I do want to play games like Last of Us. I've managed to be unspoiled, so don't you dare frickin' do it. But even Destiny, but like a game like Destiny. Like, let's say I buy one tomorrow. I feel like I've already missed the boat on it. So that game's like, do I buy it? Like, what am I gonna do? I'm just going by myself.
It feels kind of weird when you don't ride the wave on things like that, where it's
even without a YouTube angle on it, like just me enjoying it myself. Like I feel like, hey Pop, let's play Destiny, dude. I've got 700 hours on it. I'm done. Like.
That's how I've always felt about Journey. Like, I didn't get into it right at the start, and I'm like, oh, well, I kind of missed the wave on that one, and I know it's
I will say
experience.
This just because I've had a few friends who picked it up late and have rode in late on that wave, and when I say late, I only mean like a couple months. And even when those people signed into Destiny and joined our party, I kind of groaned and was like, oh, crap. Because then I knew that they were going to want me to go back and help them with like the little level 2 content and stuff.
That'd be so me. Dude, how do I do this? How do I do this? I would do it just on purpose, but... like, that's my thing. It's like, because I try to make the decision, because, let's be honest, I'm not trying to be a hater, but a console to me is primarily a movie machine. It's a Blu-ray player, like, so, like, that's where but then it's like, it's this thing, it's like, all right, again, Puppy, you could probably, like, do I buy the inferior hardware to play with my buds, or do I play the smarter buy and play by myself? It's like, I hate you consoles. I hate you.
They're going to even out a lot, just like the last generation did, not completely, but get a lot closer.
Yeah, I think over time goes.
They'll even out, and like I've said for a very long time to a lot of different guys that are mainly PC gamers, if you want my honest to God opinion, and this is gonna just call it surprising or call it not surprising, whatever you want.
You said this before.
I think if you're a PC gamer, you need to get a PlayStation 4.
You said this before. I knew where you were going with that.
Because with the Xbox games, like there's no exclusive that's just an Xbox exclusive that I think is worthy that's not on PC. I mean, there might be some that are PC and Xbox, but
there's one that I want to play on the Xbox is Sunset Overdrive. That's the only game on that platform you can't play anywhere else that I'm actually interested in.
I've heard mixed on that though.
And that game,
And that's just because it's a game I would enjoy from
I think
other ones I know I would like it.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't played it. I've watched a few videos. I haven't played it, but I wanted to get it, and the only reason that I haven't is just because I feel like it's not worth the price. It looks like a fun game, but it looks like one of those games that you might play for, I don't know, like a week or two, and then just forget about it. Because it's another one of those stupid fun kind of have it for a while and then, okay, that was good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I would get it because I've liked prior Insomniac games. So
yeah, Insomniac's always been good, but that's a whole different thing. So.
all right, well, then let's move on to a more happy topic of. Now, looking at the topics, are all not very good right now. We'll kind of mix this one together. It's a bad topic. The topic is lots of broken game releases, Drive Club, AC Unity, Halo. Jesus Christ, you can go back to Sims, Battlefield 4. Like, I'm just trying to think of
well,
everything.
it's like those are other
It's
years.
like-
That's just like this year. There's
It's
tons of them.
AAA games in general.
It's not
what
just
we're
EA
seeing
anymore.
is-
No, it's every
I think
game.
what we're seeing is we're breaking into a new generation of consoles, and everybody's releasing on 5 platforms simultaneously, and it's kind of
we saw
breaking
that.
the bank.
Clearly, Battlefield led the way.
Yeah,
on that,
and they
right?
can't delay it anymore just because they have investors that need their money back, so they can't push the game release back any further than they already have. So they're putting it out before it should be.
Yeah. But we're seeing
a lot of
another
Battlefield
level.
4 was trying to beat the the Christmas Rush and the Call of Duty time.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, we're not going to get into. I'm trying to avoid dance around the Battlefield 4 because like I said, but no, like
That's
I don't.
not this year, so we can
The
skip
only
it.
problem with Battlefield 4 wasn't that it was early. Battlefield 4 needed a year and a half. Like, look at us now. We're a year later. They're still not there. I mean, even with dedicated development, they wouldn't have been there. Like, let's be honest. They made certain decisions that were not right. It would have been better. Yeah, sure, clearly, but I think it's just they're overcomplicating games because I mean, let's be honest. The games are way better than they were. People get nostalgic about even just 2, 3, 4 years ago. Games are like magnitudes more complicated. I mean, just look at Battlefield. They took the jump on console to more players. I mean, that's a big move. It's a subtle one, but people don't talk about it much. But it's like not just like broken game releases. Like it's like I expect a game to be broken at release now, and that's a problem. But that's that's the climate we're in. Especially, like you said, a new console release right now, and then worse than a new console is the fact that they're hanging on to the old console. I think I can't. The first year we drop those consoles is really gonna be the first next gen year, but it's also the year of like meh games, like Puppy said.
Oh, yes.
Puppy's got that on there.
Oh,
it's
yes.
like, I mean, I guess the
Watch
best.
Dogs?
Well, yeah, and that's a big one. Another one
That one had
would
so
be
much hype
Rise,
before
like
it,
he
it
mentioned,
dropped,
which was like clearly like a
goes away.
money grab demo / It's like there's this space out there now again with the 2 new consoles, I guess, that they're just trying to fill, and it's just, I mean, it's business more than it's game design, but
Seeing a lot
I
of
think there's-
remastered stuff coming out
Yep,
already.
exactly the same.
I think a
same
lot of
stuff.
what you're seeing is you're the victim of the price point of where AAA games live. It's $60 up front, and the only thing they lose is possibly you as a future customer if it is a
They'll
mediocre
worry
or poor
about that
release.
another day, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. When I threw that topic down in the doc, I more or less what I was thinking was just like, just think back to 2013 and which games you found exciting then and how excited you got for them. I don't think Battlefield 3, that wasn't 2013, was it?
No, that was,
Yeah,
I think it was 2011
What's that?
even.
Was it?
Battlefield 4 was 2013.
Yeah, okay. So, but I mean,
In the fall.
I was still playing Battlefield 3 in 2013. Good lord. But I mean, any new game that came out, 2013, 2012, 11, 10, you keep going back. And, like, I personally, there was always, like, at least one, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 even, games that, like, were just so fun to play and absolutely just a blast. And you want to tell all your friends about it. You want to do nothing but talk about it. To the point where people were just like, shut up, and this year, 2014, I got one game, and you guys have already told me to shut up. And,
Right.
I mean,
That's pretty good
outside of that-
value, though.
outside of that one game, though, like, there's not been anything that I found really exciting personally. I feel like every game that's kind of came out has been meh, like, And I kind of threw that in there to kind of go with the whole broken games thing too, because I mean, like Assassin's Creed Unity, it came out and it was broken when it first came out, so I skipped it and I waited on it, and I was like, I'm gonna let them fix that first, and then I went and picked it up after I had learned that it was fixed and played it and was like, wow, I waited for this. That's okay, I guess.
My problem is like I'll hold out, and then I'm just like I missed the bus. I'm good on that. Like, and I never like, and it's like I said earlier, it's like being a gamer. I have so much other disappointment and grinding, right? And like gaming, it's like I want to get swept up. It's like I'm not a romantic. I'm not any of these things. Like
you just want to be in the hype.
Like COD. Like I knew I was getting swindled, right? But it was just like, it's worth $40 for me to just go along for the ride. Like I want to be excited, right? Like I don't want Battlefield 5 to come out and me be this jaded fuck and just. But I'm gonna be, right. Like or hardline right now. I'm this guy like this. Prove it. Prove it. I don't want to be that guy, and that's totally who I come across on Twitter. Like I'm the grumpy old guy on Twitter. I get it, but like I don't want to be that guy. But it's hard for me to like ignore reality at the same time. Like it's freaking gaming. I want to talk about games like Mordor that makes me feel like a legend. Like, all right, so maybe I get bored in a week, but I had a hell of a week. Or Minecraft that we waxed nostalgically for 2 or 3 years now on a $10 game, and that I'm playing with my freaking children now. Like that's what I want. I want this romanticism. Like, and I feel like we're making this trend towards just this whole negativity and disappointment, and it's just so sad to me. That's like, because it's so. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a way of life. It's profits. It's all about profits. Like Darth said, I'd gladly sell you today for a video game on Tuesday or whatever. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a video game today, right? Like, It's like I'm going to sell you. I don't care about your business down the road. I need to sell you right now this quarter and make $1 so I can get my promotion. I can get my bonus. I'll worry about next quarter, next year. Yeah. Like, and then if we don't hit next year, I'll blame the devs. You know, like I won't blame the fact that I broke the relationship.
Yearly releases is just it's time to cash in.
They've got to. How do they keep making? Yeah, they keep hitting their numbers, their percentages. Like I don't know, and that's I don't know. It's
Welcome
tough.
to being old and jaded about video games.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think the other part of it is expectations have exceeded capability of delivering right now for companies. Like they have all this new tech, and they haven't really caught up to it tools wise or engine wise.
Well, you're saying expectations from a dev standpoint, or are you saying expectations from a
player standpoint? I think. Like there was a release that came out this year where I was
like, is it the hype machine or is it the player?
I think it's a little of everything. I think it's
I think it's a lot.
There was a game that came out this year that was actually okay that got panned by players, and I can't remember what it was now, and it would have been a great example to have here. But it was where I said, have we finally hit that point where people just can't be happy?
Hype. They don't stop hyping. Like they're gonna hype on it because they're selling. It's never stop selling, right? Never stop finishing, or will never stop closing, whatever the hell the saying is. They don't think about the fact that the next day people are gonna be like, this isn't the greatest game that has ever been released. It's a good game, but
I foresee this happening, and it's gonna happen without a shadow of a doubt with the Division when that drops.
I'm leery, man, because they're already backpedaling and they're delaying and they're doing the dance. We all know the dance.
They have to put the towers in.
Oh God! I swear to God,
if I climb the Brooklyn Bridge to unlock Brooklyn, I will fucking close the game up and that's it. I'm done. Man, no, well, listen. Here's a simple matter: is games went from this niche thing, where people with passion did it, right, and now it's this big. It's gonna be the biggest industry in not so long, and obviously it's gonna be ruled by profit margins. It's gonna be ruled by stockholders. It's gonna be ruled by business, and it's gonna be these companies like I said, and this is my romance with indie games, the people that are still passionate about games, and that's why I will take a wart-ridden game and play the hell out of it that's made with polish and passion and stuff, and when you can tell that, or even not necessarily indie games, but a game, a company like Valve or Blizzard, these games that put quality in front of. obviously they have way different business models than the average company. They can just say screw profits for 4 years or whatever. Or, they have WoW that prints money, and now Hearthstone that literally like melts cards into gold dust, like real gold dust. But it's easy to be noble when you're at that position, but it's just like the exception is going to be these incredible quality, not just games but companies. You're going to get that random game every now and then a company puts out, but it's just like, it's sad. Like, I think from the perspective of my boys, it's like 10 years from now, what are they going to be? They're going to be sifting through the bullshit. It's like,
oh yeah, I think it was Destiny. This is a game.
Yeah,
I was
I can
thinking
see
of,
that.
by the
I
way,
can see
where
that
it was like they had super mediocre reviews, and everything I saw about it looked super polished. It was in all seeming aspects a great game.
right, but it was built to be this end all be all.
It was worth the money I spent.
Yeah, I can see that.
I've gotten my money's worth. I'm not happy with the DLC, as I mentioned in the very beginning of this, but it was worth the money. I said in the last podcast, the one where we originally reviewed it, that it was. I didn't see why it was getting so much hate. No, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of games out there. Of course, I think in that particular case with Destiny, that wasn't just player hype though. Like, how many millions of dollars did they drop into the ad budget for that thing? Whereas a lot of other games like The Division, which is upcoming, as far as I know, they haven't really dropped a whole lot of anything into ads. And all the hype that I've seen on it anyway has been very player driven hype.